Learn more about Army careers in science, technology, engineering, and math at goarmy.com. More than 150 soldier possibilities ready and waiting. Again, we're here at the U.S. Army Presents Reload Collegiate CSGO Invitational. We basically postponed the tournament for a little bit longer. We wanted to make sure all of the players are safe. We talked with each one of them. We were staying in tune with them, gave them a little bit more time after the fact to make sure that they're still good. The storm has passed. As one of our great marketers on our side, Kim Yeehall, one of the things she shared with us, which was awesome, is the fact is that even whenever you thought it couldn't get any worse with having a pandemic that's going on, let's throw in a little tornado to spice things up. But again, I'm so happy that everyone is still safe. We made sure that was number one priority. We were even prepared to be able to reschedule on a very difficult tournament to schedule for, but we are ready to rock and roll. Both the teams are ready and set to be able to play this game. Again, for those that are just joining us, this is a best of three in the lower bracket finals for Group B. John, Tulsa, Miami University of Ohio, where do you think this one's going to play out?
Well, we saw it on earlier. Mirage was the map. Tulsa taking it 16-13 over Miami, but we're starting on Train. Yep. And we saw Miami playing Train earlier. They had a very convincing CT side against Oklahoma State. So if history repeats itself for the Oklahoma teams, seems like they won't have the most luck, but Tulsa's actually the one who picked the map, so maybe they have a trick up their sleeve as well.
Yeah, I think there's something to take. I mean, Oklahoma State versus Miami, I think there's something that I was noticing myself. There is a little bit of some of the nuances and little details that you can kind of poke and prod at a little bit. So we'll be on the lookout. I think the key thing that I'm going to be paying attention to is which side we'll see. Is Tulsa going to be on the counter-terror side or the terror side? I think that's going to actually make a difference. If Tulsa starts on the CT side, then I would expect a game that's even close to like a 16-9, 16-10 game in favor of Tulsa. But if we see the flip side of that where Miami University is on the counter-terror side, we're probably closer to like a 16-13, 16-14, but still in favor of Tulsa.
Corey, I'm not even going to try to bother. Your predictions were so close yesterday. You were only one off. So I'm going to go with whatever you said +1.
So we just got confirmation that Miami will actually be on the CT side. So that's I'm gonna put my stake in the ground. I've drawn the line in the sand, like earlier, what you were talking about from fictional there on Mirage. So I've drawn the line. This is it. This is where it's at. 16-13 in favor of Tulsa, even though Miami starting off on the CT. And you said one round. Which way do you want to go?
I'm feeling more of like a 16-11.
Ooh, that's where you went wrong. So you said 16-11, but in favor of Tulsa?
Correct.
Or Miami? Tulsa. All right. So that's going to be our first prediction. I like to go map by map. I don't like to decide the entire whole pool all the way across the board. But our following map after this one will be on Overpass, and then we'll finish things up, if needed, on Mirage. So those are your maps. That's where we're looking at it. The game is about to be underway. Again, Miami will be starting off on the counter-terror side on Train. We just played this map just a moment ago with Oklahoma State versus Miami. You said it best. Miami University has to get through two Oklahoma teams. I actually also shout out to Oklahoma State. I hope you also are staying safe as well while you're there. We are waiting for this game to get started underway in just a moment. But again, man, it's been fun. It's been so. Don't you call me out like that.
I heard the excitement in your voice, and we are excited for this match. It was the knife round again, Corey.
Dang it.
I think tomorrow you should wear your glasses so you can see the knives a little better. Or maybe we should have a little icon, a light that turns on for when it's the knife round. Because you had that look in your eyes like, and then we're getting off into the knife round.
Or I'll just wait for production. Everybody's been killing it back there. I'll just wait for them to give me the go and thinking this is anything. All right, so we are on DE Train, and this is live. As we kick things off, we're on board with Miami to start, and we see. Let's go ahead and switch over to the other side with Tulsa. It looks like they're already going to be aggressive, heading over there towards the inner bomb side.
Something that I respect that we've seen through every single team on the very first round is just a rush. Everyone's just playing that fast round. No one's trying to play a slow pistol round. But look at the utility over on the side of Tulsa. They've got four flashbangs 2 smokes, and a Molotov. So that is a lot of utility in their favor. Glaze is going to find one, but he's going to get taken down by DeGinger. So now they have got the site. They have also got the utility to get the angles they'd like. That is a nice find there on the Hybrid, and that's going to turn it into a 3v5 with only 1 kit on Prospection. Ooh, nice shot from OAB as well on to Trinity Lord. Once again, still having some utility to work with. 2 flash grenades. There is a smoke on I'm not even going to try. He's gotten 2 headshots, looking like a real pro that he is. He's also got the kit, Corey. So this is totally possible. Oh, he just barely missed the headshot, and that's going to be the first round on the board for Tulsa. And Corey, please say the name for me so I can just repeat it over and over.
Prospection. So one of the things that I'm actually really happy that I saw from Tulsa just now, and this is what I mentioned when we were watching Oklahoma State on Train. We saw Oklahoma State keep hitting the A bomb site, towards the outer bomb site, over and over and over and over again. And I thought that the B side on Miami was a little weak based off of their play style. We'll see how that pans out. They are heading, looks like they've separated. They've got a little default set, seeing if they're going to be pushing anywhere. You've actually got one of the lurkers. Yeah, there it is. That's DeGinger, who is actually over there towards the inner bomb site. And they're waiting for pushes. That's kind of interesting. Hybrid was taken out earlier in the round. And now they're going to start executing here towards the outer bomb site, towards A. And just on the other side, nice pickup there for Prospection, as he's got 2. He must have gotten warmed up during the break. But it is now down to a 2-on-2. Psycho hurting now, as he's got that scout in hand. He did cause a little bit of damage there. Both DeGinger and Hamza are both hurting right now. Glaze. Deagle Glaze, as he picks up 1 there.
Unnecessary roughness. That headshot was not needed, but it made it look flashy anyways. And so it looks like they were trying to throw the bomb to one another so that they could get the plant, but really what happened is the bomb's just sitting on the floor now. So now they know the position. It's going to take 1 shot on either side. Who's going to get the advantage? And Hamza's going to get the advantage. Now 100 health here on Glaze. If he misses just one, if he just hits 1 shot body or head, that's going to do it. But oh, getting down to the wire. 1 HP was the difference.
1
wow.
HP, that's all you need.
That is all you need, and that 1 HP is going to give him the first round of the board for Miami, and that stings. Usually when you win the pistol round, if you get the following, you get the 3rd round after, but now that when you lose the pistol round, that is extremely painful, especially with no bomb plans. So as we see, only 1 rifle. They're force buying Tulsa right now.
Yeah, and this is something I would actually expect from them. They've got nothing really to lose at that point. If they lose this round, that's going to be an additional round bonus. They feel good about that. They got the bomb planted in the first round, they won the round in the first round, so it doesn't make a difference there. So we'll see what they end up doing here. As it looks like they're starting to head here towards the inner bomb site. You've got Glaze doing a little ADing over there. And he's waiting. There's going to be a quick rotate that's going to happen from Hybrid, but I do want to give a call out real fast to Prospection, the name that you can't say. Is the fact that he is actually he came out playing extremely well here in this game. He might actually be an impact player. Glaze inside of the site. He's going to get 1, but he will get dropped shortly after there. Here comes Hamza. He's dropped 2 in the round, and now it's going to be left up to Psycho as well as Hybrid and Purpur. Nice little one-on-one. Bomb is planted for him, but look at this. They're both on the upper. He doesn't want to drop, and so he's taking his time. I think he may have made the call out. Purpur is now adjusting for this one. They probably know that Psycho was last seen, but there's some noise there. He throws it over there, and that smoke is going to be on the opposite side. He has a UMP. He's going to spray away. Doesn't realize that he's too high, and he is. And, gosh, he gets to the defuse. Great job. Good play by Psycho, and gets the LM. And that's after the bomb plant, so there you have it. 2-1 in favor of Miami. So Miami is, of course, there's some another factors that I probably should take in consideration for this is that Tulsa was the one that had to basically go to shelter in place. So there's actually DeGinger. I don't believe is he goes to Tulsa University, but I don't believe he's actually still in Tulsa. And so he was one of the ones that was communicating with us to constantly keeping us informed of what was going on. But the rest of his team does live there, so that's one of those things that they had to go away from their computer. They were in a unique situation. They were impacted physically by what just happened, and so that may have kind of altered their style of play here. But here we go. Prospection has started off with 1 round here on the entry. Ooh, there's 3. Woo.
Yeah, Prospection having a good game for himself already from the get-go. This Ivy hit had absolutely no success. The only person they did a little bit of damage to was Psycho, and now it looks like they're trying to catch some rotation over. Maybe even predicting that this player is no longer Ivy, but he sure is, and he's going to get caught by the AWP. Trinity Lord able to find him, and that is a clean round there. It wasn't a very high investment, just P250s on the side of Tulsa. And Corey, this is kind of shaping up as we expected it to, but frankly, I think Tulsa, I think they look a little bit shook up. Their aim is still there, but their strategy seems a little bit more of that pub style. Like you said, it seems like they're trying to get back into it. They're doing what they seem familiar with right now, which is just clicking heads.
Yeah, last time whenever we first watched these two teams meet up in the upper bracket side, it really felt Miami had a very strong CT side, and I don't want to take away from them on that fact. It's the reality is whenever we switched to the other side, when they switched to the T side, that's where they started to struggle. They were trying to play too methodical, too passive. So we'll see what that second half of this map looks like. But here we have, he got Prospection. He tries to peek out. He got dropped. It's now down to a 4-on-2. As Glaze is getting right into the sight. He's going to make it, try to be an impact player here. Just over the top, he's able to take out two. The bomb does get planted, and he sprays, almost dropping Purpur. And there's some taps with the USP. And just like that, we are already at a one-on-one, and they know where both of them are exactly at this point. He does have a kit. He's going to continue to work here. Psycho is really hurting. We believe he's going to stick it. I think that's going to be the case.
No, not
and here again, and that's where we have it. Great play by Psycho. We saw that previously before, but this time it's on the other foot.
That has to hurt. That's the second time this game where they just stuck it in the.
But it was the other way around.
I'm saying this game, there was a smoke down in which they stuck it through the smoke. But yes, there was an instance in which you were talking about. That's actually how they walked away from the round. Was that Ninja Diffuse earlier?
Exactly.
And so that's just another, maybe that that's a little bit of homage. We've got those two is maybe what they're going with. But nonetheless, we are in round number 6, 4-2-1 on the side of Miami.
That was a tough angle for him to be able to play it. He had to contest. He had to make noise to be able to get there. And, of course, that was not an angle that you could have been able to play that. It was a great job, a great awareness by Psycho on getting that diffuse because he had to push him. There's no question. Which at that point, if he had to push him, then Psycho would have known that. He would have then went ahead and got the peek on him. He would have known it. That was really for Psycho to win that round either way you look at it.
Now we're seeing another A hit. They've been pretty successful. If any rogues don't fix it, wow, the Ginger just absolutely rocking his world right there. But they're not ready for Kyber, and I take that back. They are.
Good help.
Trinity Lord getting the pick on OAB, and now it is a 2v3 on site. The bomb is not down just yet. They're taking their time, trying to make sure all the angles are clear. They're not wanting to have any unnecessary deaths here, but Glaze able to find one, but not the bomb carrier. So that's still in the hands of the Ginger. He's got the bomb going down now, and we see Trinity Lord stuck in mid with the smoke. He's going to
we see some
down.
weapons. There you have him.
Now we're in another one-on-one situation, but this time, Corey, we do not have a kid on the side of Trinity Lord. He does not know where the last player is at, and Hasma just has to sit there and essentially wait, but he's got the smoke, and not going to happen this time. A little bit too focused on the smoke. Good peek there, good timing, and that's going to get it up to 2 rounds for Tulsa, and the money is not looking great for Miami.
Yeah, its only downside to grenades being all over the floor is the fact is that they are basically sound landmines. As you saw him walk across, he picked up that smoke grenade, and at that point there was a quick reaction, and then he did overthink it for a little bit there. And so now you've got Tulsa picking up their first real gun round here against Miami. Again, Tulsa picked up the pistol round, but that was one of the things that we haven't seen in this tournament yet, where they immediately lost the second round. Good deagle buy that came in from Miami. That actually came in for them to actually win that round.
So now we see they're trying to take a slow B hit here, and that very forward position with those deagles in Pop Dog is Kybrid. Now we see Glaze with this. Oh, that's an AWP. All right, he went glass cannon this round. I don't think that's a bad move at all. Obviously, if they lose it, we can have different thoughts. But he's holding B upper. And now the smoke grenades are coming out. They're going to smoke off the rotations.
Let's go back to Glaze here for us if we can. I want to see Glaze and see if he can be able to pick this up here. There's number 1. Let's check and see if he can pick up a second one. He's going to work this angle. It's a smart angle.
Hybrid, he's coming in through the flank. Went through.
Good flank.
Oh,
Great
no.
job by Hybrid again. He picked up that first one, which gave him an AK. Now they're in a really tough spot because they've got no support. Glaze picked up one. There goes the op. It's going to fall. And Hamza says, all right, I got this. Put him on my back. 1v5 right now, or what was a 1v5 was narrowing down quickly. But there you have it. Hybrid on a huge flank. It allows them to be able to pick up the round 5-2. I apologize, Miami, if you heard me. You're actually watching the stream on the other side, and you heard what I said in our pre-show. But here we'll have it. We'll see what they can be able to do with it. Great start by Miami on the CT side. It is a CT-sided map, but they look like they're in control right now.
Absolutely. The utility is exactly where it needs to be, and then it just seems like they're always finding that small advantage where we can. In that round, we saw Kyber with that great flank. He found the 1D, picked up an AK, and was able to take 2 in the back, and at that point, absolute chaos, leaving it into the 1v5. Hamza had all of it to do, not able to take it, but now here we are into round number 8. Very low investment on the side of Tulsa, as they really didn't have an option but to make it so.
Let's see. So we've got some smokes and flashes. Let's go ahead and switch over to, that should be 9, so that's Obe. I think Obe was probably up there. Here comes the smokes and flashes that were coming over the top. That's what we're delaying for. This is actually a set call here. They're going to start pushing here towards the site. Psycho, though, is right there. He takes down Mop.
Prospection goes down. And it seems like they're trying to take the site here, so the rotation coming on over from Glaze from the B side. They're able to find the Ginger. They're able to find OAB. Psycho's doing it all for his team right now, and Hamza trying to do it back. But now it is on a 1v2. Purper finds himself a scout using the Tech 9. It's not going to be enough. Even after its buff, still a little bit too weak to win those encounters. 6-2 in favor of Miami. Money starting to build back for them. Only lost 2 rifles. They're going to have to settle for some smaller guns, as Prospection we're seeing on a Deagle. Psycho, we see with an M4 investment, no head armor, and Trinity Lord going with the glass cannon. Again, second time we're seeing this so far, this time on him with the AWP, and this will be a full investment on Tulsa. So missing 1 shot is going to turn into a lot of pain for him, but I think that's the point of the AWP is you only need 1.
You only need 1. All right. So we see this, they're kind of spread throughout. Psycho wins the bout over there against Mop. Mop has been playing around over there. He's been hopping back and forth. At this time, Psycho pushes forward and gets that one. Now he's going to see another player there. That was Obe. But Psycho does fall, but he did cause some damage before he was dropped from the round. Uh-oh, right on around the other corner is Prospection. He did not suspect that around the corner.
I see your attempt there, and I'll respect it. Mainly just because
I stuck with it.
I'm like a 50% if I can even say his name right, so I'll let you have that one. But Glaze here making quick work at the B bomb site. Only 1 person left, and that is Purper, and he cannot do anything.
Miami.
Prospection finding the headshot on Purper, closing it out on the 7th round for them. Heading into round 10, we're probably going to see a partial bye here for the side of Tulsa. And replay of Hamza
earlier today.
from way earlier, actually. This is round number 3.
Yeah, that was. I mean, that's showing one of the better rounds that came in from Tulsa. So now we'll see. I told you earlier, my hope was that we'd see them attack the inner bomb site more often, and it looks like they're just kind of following suit, where they're hitting the outer bomb site. That just didn't work out for the other Oklahoma team, being Oklahoma State.
Now we're seeing the Deagles and P250s come out to play.
Wasting rounds like that. That's one of the things that's always troublesome to me, is the one time you try something, you try it during your eco rounds. So we'll see how this works out for him, John.
Well, not working out well for them. Corey Glaze is easily able to find 2, gets the Molotov down. That's going to slow him down. He's going to get flashed, but he's already got the Molotov in front of him. So now it looks like they want to take upper, change their mind, start heading back towards B ramp, and then start running their way back to potentially rotate A. Corey, it definitely seems like they're having a little bit of indecisiveness here, as Mop's not having the best game of his life. He's sitting on 1-9, and Hamza's 12-9, so respectively balancing each other out. And Glaze, it's been a pretty solid force on this B side. We've seen him with the AWP being able to lock it down, that M4A1S, able to keep them nice and quiet there on the site, but now it looks like they're trying to take a quiet approach. The Pop Dog, Prospection, and Trinity Lord are ready and waiting for them as soon as they pop out of that smoke.
All right, so they came out over from ladder room. Now Trinity picks up 1, and that's going to be the trades there, as Prospection has picked up the last 2. So again, paying attention to it. The fact is that they've now decided to try to hit the inner bomb site every time that they've been saving. I would love for them to try to hit the inner bomb site when they've got a full nade set and gun round and everything, but more than likely they will not. Yep, they're going to rely. This is very similar. They are not changing a thing. You see Mop right here. The only difference is now he's got an op. So he's going to see if he can challenge here.
Already holding the angle.
Oh! He does. Great shot. There's our second kill of the game, and it may be a very crucial one because that's going to leave some openings. It's going to shift that outer bomb site where they've got usually 4 players watching. They now need to adjust around that. But Glaze is advanced way, way up. He is currently in the ladder room.
And that's what we've been seeing from him all series long. He loves getting as far forward as he can. Oh, that's not as far forward as you want to see the bomb ever being on the ground. That's going to throw a wrench in this round.
To 1, 2, 3, 4. Carry the 1. Yep.
But look where Hamza's at. He's at the back of sight. He's poking towards Ivy. He didn't check his corners, and then Prospection able to cut him off. And like you said, Glaze has got a pretty nice position for himself. They do get the bomb, though, and so now we are at the question of where are they going next. They're going to try and take their odds through Ivy. Looks like Trinity Lord might be rotating over to B, with the only person on spike being Prospection.
You're getting there.
I'm getting there, Corey. I even wrote it down because it's starting to frustrate me that I can't say the stinking word. Why can't he have a shorter name? But we've got 30 seconds left in the round. They've got to make a commitment soon. That is a good angle for Trinity Lord. Unfortunately, they're not going to go that way. It's all on the Prospection. He's got to get the first, and he does. He's going to call it out, but he doesn't check for a second, and that's the Ginger with the bomb. He's going to get that one down safely with plenty of time on the clock. So how do they play it?
Ladder. Oh, luckily he's right there, and he does get away. They get the bomb planted, and Glaze is right here just waiting to see if anybody pushes out from that angle. Trinity creeping his way. They're both going to try to find these openings. They know where they're at least located at. They haven't been shot at from heaven, and Mob right there, and then boom. They were chasing for the frags, and it didn't work out for them. 8-3. It's been a while since Tulsa's won a round. And we'll see if they can at least start to string a couple together. They have not once yet won the following round. Yet.
Yeah, and that's the important part, Corey. They got to start breaking the economy. And if they do one more round, we're going to start seeing a lot less money on the side of Miami. But for now, they still have to fight through another full gun round, full utility. I mean, the first pick, I think, was the catalyst there. It was Mop finding that pick onto Ivy. But Trinity Lord taking a much more forward position. He's going to find one there in the purple, and that is the bomb. Man, these bomb placements have really just been beating them up pretty bad. They're going to be able to get it, but it's not comfortable here. They're going to have to use a lot of utility just to make it safe. Or Trinity Lord's just going to pick them off. Oh, a little bit too slow on the shot. And it seems that Hamza is able to find K-Bread.
See, there's no reason for Hamza to be out that far than he was. And then that right there was not a good call either. And they're now just getting picked apart one by one. All that just turned into was a bunch of 2v1 battles outside there. There was not a collection of players pushing out all at the same time. And so now it's just been a series of 1v battles all the way through. They've gone out solo, each and every one of them. And so they will not be able to string these rounds together as Psycho takes down Mop for one last time, 9-3. So this kind of one at a time show is not going to be working out. These are not gladiators. It's a team-based game.
Exactly, and I think that's kind of what's showing through the most right now. Is Miami, they've got a much more complete strategy. Obviously, you've mentioned before, this is a CT-sided map, so we'll have to hang tight and see what Tulsa's able to do in the next 2 rounds, try to even up the odds as much as they can, and it looks like they're trying to make a slow hit onto B. So if you look at here, they've made a full investment into this round. They want to try and get a 4th and a 5th. And if they lose this one, they're going to be battling for a 4th. So that's the difference between being 11-4 or 12-3.
Yeah, if it's 12-3, then Tulsa is going to be in a difficult spot.
Yeah, and our predictions are going to be way off, that's for sure.
Mine will be close.
Didn't you have Tulsa winning this?
Yeah, but it was 16-13, not 16-10, which we're almost there.
You're really confident in making a long ways back, and obviously we've got a long ways to go, but now the smokes are coming out. The B hit is in effect. We only got 1 player on site, and that's Glaze. He finds 1 hit, and Trinity Lord able to find Obe with the AWP. And now the full rotation is coming on over. The bomb is making its way back towards A, and they're bumping chest. Purper able to come out on top. The full rotation's in, and he's actually out on site.
Nice. Great, bro. Oh, Hamza doing work as he flanks through. And there you go. Great. See, I'm okay with this. That was a really good call out. Good rotation coming in from the bomb carrier being Mop. And now they force him to have to kind of work out. Now the challenge for Miami is the fact that they have to check every single angle.
Oh my goodness, that timing.
Welcome to CS. Welcome to CS.
Oh no.
That happens way too often. Weird play, but I'm digging it. And Mop he just needs to stay alive here. Oh. And there comes the defuse. And he will have time. That's going to do it. 10-3. I'm a fan of what happened in that round. That's really good play. We'll take another look. This is where Hamza came in from behind. He picks up 2 there, but at the exact same time frame, Trinity Lord was going to rotate because he had a call out from his teammate saying that they were taking the bomb outside. That pulled him away, which Hamza was able to come in from the side. They were expecting the Trinity Lord to be covering them from the Z-Hall. He just wasn't. It was just coincidental timing. And so now 10-3. If this ends up 12-3, yes, this will blow up all types of predictions. And there's feet, and there's death, and there you have it.
What was just feet turned into an entire body, just showing him, letting him know this gun is mine now, Corey.
I'm taking this AK.
You want the M4? Go ahead and take it. It is yours.
That's funny.
Now we see Glaze getting aggressive. They're not actually going to predict it. And that, again, is the bomb going down. Glaze has been such a nuisance on this B bomb site. Look at him. He is 17-7.
Yeah, they're just not hitting it hard enough. They're giving Miami time to get set up, and they're allowing them to know that they can be able to rotate here. That's an interesting smoke. But they do the double drop, but they kind of counter these for themselves, and then finally, the Ginger picks off Kybrid. I think we're going to be in a 12-3 scenario now.
I think that smoke was to seem like they were trying to smoke off popped up.
Yeah, no, it was a good call. Yeah.
And then, nonetheless, it worked out for them in that regard. But now we're left down to the Ginger, and he's got it all to do. He's got the bomb at least. He's got an AK. Glaze not pushing forward. He's just trying to wait for any mistake. But as you can see, everyone, it almost looks like we've all disconnected because no one is even moving. The Ginger's got to go soon.
Let's go back to the Ginger real fast. I want to see what his armor is at right now. He's at 100. He's got full nade set, and it's going into the final round. His teammates will not be able to buy. They are, of course, they've got a couple. I think it's a few rounds, round money. They're trying now. The problem is that they may toy with him. They may let him live for a little bit longer. 3, 2, 1, and now he's in an even tougher spot. They're going to start chasing after him if they're smart enough. There's Glaze. He starts spraying. Oh man, I was hoping that they would chase him. They should have. I mean, Glaze should have actually pushed him and then be able to pick that up. But that is what it is. But this is another look here. That's exactly what you were just talking about. He intended that. That baited them out. I think they're gonna make that move anyway. But it forced their hand to do it now, opposed to a little bit later.
Absolutely. So that max round bonus kicking in, at least allowing Tulsa the ability to get AKs and some guns. Only one Galil, and well, that's an AK down. Training Lord, nice shot into the Ginger, trying to get out there with no utility, and man, they're just picking them apart one by one, Corey. This is what you were mentioning, not what we wanted to see, just one by one gunfights, heading all over the place. Perspection even chiming in, finding the last one on Mop, and then Kybrid just closing it out. So that round was about 15 seconds, and that's all she wrote. So 12-3 in favor of Miami. My predictions already out the window. Yours still is holding up true, but this is a mighty task, and not to say doom and gloom and all is over, but to throw back to flashpoint number 1, MIBR were up in their best of 3 series on Train 12-1, in which Mad Lions put it at the half to 12-13, and then they came back all the way to make it 16-13 to win themselves $500,000. So I would say that's pretty impressive, and it's certainly possible was the point I was trying to say there. And Corey, you didn't seem too entertained as you were yawning through that segment, but now we're seeing a fast IV hit. The only player there is Mop, and he's going to quickly run away, calling for the rotation, and Glaze is going to find the first opening on the map on Hamza.
Yeah, Tulsa has to win this pistol round, as they've already dropping like flies, and it's going to be a difficult one for them to pull off, as now it's left up to Purper. He did have the bomb, but they know exactly where he's at. This is a very, very tough round to win, as they're going to plant against him on this too. They all have, it looks like Glaze does have a P250 here. So I'm trying to look at the distance here. He could win the game by getting some distant shots.
It's given if they give them the opportunity, in which case doesn't look like they're willing to give him anything to work with. So Purper's got to make a pretty aggressive move pretty soon here, and that was it. But
yep, that's basically all she wrote.
Hybrid taking it from there, and that is the pistol going on to Miami. So if you're Tulsa right now, I think you force. You kind of have to. You've got to force your hand.
You don't have to.
You don't have to, but I think it's the right move. You got to try to take the bull by the horns, I would think, in this position. Because if you give another round away, then you're basically forfeiting this round, which will guarantee that Miami's going to be on guns next round.
Yeah, this is definitely it's up for an opinion. I think now Tulsa is agreeing with you. That's where you're seeing them try to shock and awe, because remember, they got shock and awed themselves, right? So Tulsa won the pistol round and then lost the second round to follow due to a bunch of deagles that were coming out. But this time, we're seeing very, very, very passive. They do not want to hit the tripwire and see Tulsa come at them.
Yeah, they probably have a sense feeling here that, well, the Ginger's getting pretty close,
timing.
and he's got a shotgun.
Counter-Strike's timing is just so funny to me. And he's going to over-peek here. But he's going to peek wide. Why are you peeking that wide? Get closer. Get closer. There you are.
Absolutely no reason to peek here. And oh, he misses the shot. Oh, he misses the second shot. That's the point of the shotgun, is to get that close, but it doesn't help when you miss every single one of your shots. Doesn't even get to walk away with the fat check of $900 for 1 kill. Walks away with 0 damage. Perspection has got his way into the back. Missing all of his shots, had to reload, so Mob able to find the kill there. The bomb has not gone down yet, but that's the bomb on the ground, so there is some hope here. It's a 2v2. Only 1 AK in the hands of Hybrid and Trinity Lord with the MAC 10. Okay. Hybrid able to find Purper Dreams from, can't read, as Hybrid can read and reads exactly where Obe's going to be at, and that is round number 14. Now that's probably going to close us out, Corey. At this point on, Tulsa, they're going to save this round, and then they're going to have to play for 12 rounds of overtime, essentially. And they're investing.
They're buying. They're hoping. They're thinking about it, hoping that Tulsa doesn't decide to buy, but that would not make any sense here. We watch these smokes kind of bounce around, and by that time, the smoke grenade actually blooms. We've already got 2 kills that have happened there.
Man, if you're Tulsa, I think you're fine with how these kills are shaking up. And there's another one, Mob fighting. Oh my lord, what is going on now? What is going on now? The whole team falling down. Tulsa picking up the round out of thin air. Only able to take away one gun, so I think that's the important part here. It ended so fast they weren't able to retrieve some of those rifles, so still not sitting on the best by themselves. But the important thing here is that they've kept them off of 15, and they'll be going up against Deagles in a singular Tech 9 on the Prospection. I was so close, Corey.
Just pro. It's fine.
Prospection. Ooh. Well, there is a 1D on the Oak. And there's another one onto Purper. So this, shooting through his teammate.
There it is.
He's not going to
one by Tinker, and there he's going to get dropped. Saw some foot there, gave away his position. This shotty too high. It's gonna be tough, but he doesn't get countered there. They know exactly where this last player is at, and Glaze even peeked out while he was reloading. And Mop, though, let's see what happens. Oh, no. He knows for a fact of where he's at. It does peek out there. He's going to go fall back, pick up the defuse. There will be enough time, especially with the kit. And so now the score 14-5.
Well, here we go, Corey. It's starting to get a little bit spicy. The money is starting to add up on the side of Tulsa, and it's not looking so good on Miami. So it looks like we'll see either a half buy or pistols or...
The goal right now for Miami is not to think about how close they are to win this game. Miami needs to be focused on the fact of how close they are putting this game at game point. If you start to focus on the win, you might get too far ahead of yourself, and it seems like further and further of a goal away from you. You need to be mindful of what's going on. So here goes Purper. Nice control. Great control, actually, as Obe has picked himself up the 4th kill in this round, and now Glaze is out here. Says this Tech 9, I love the gradient on it. Now I love the Beetle even more, and he basically went shopping for too long, and that's where Obe was able to take advantage of him. It's 14-6. As we'll take another look here. Look at this control by Purper. Just rattling away and takes down some crucial players. It was an eco round, but they did come in. Good control, though, again. I think that might be a sign of life coming in. Purper, he had 4 kills before that round started. So, and then we've gone through a lot of rounds.
We're on round 21. It's starting to look pretty good on Tulsa. Reminder that this was Tulsa's map pick. And the next one will be Miami's on Overpass, but we've got to get through Train first. So here we go. The money, once again, mentioned last round, is starting to build up pretty nicely for Tulsa. So if Miami are able to break here and get to 15, they're going to have to do it through guns on the last round, unless they completely strip all the guns away. Oh, I guess that would be a way to do it, but getting too far into that point. So we see Prospection looking to set up a smoke grenade at A. The hit not quite coming through yet. We see some players also setting up for an A hit. They've got to get the bomb. In the meantime, we see Psycho pushing out through Pop Dog, getting a flash down. Sees 1, sees 2, calling out to his team. The smokes are down, and the hit is coming through. We're seeing the first going on Hamza. It's been doing pretty well, so that is a good pick on their side. Psycho is going to get it there. The rest of the site is slowly being taken from the CTs, and the bomb will go down. 2 on connector, 1 coming through Ivy. That is OF finding Psycho, and that is a nice pick there from Mob on Hybrid, and all of a sudden this has turned into a 4v1. The last player is Pop Dog and Glaze, and he will not be able to close out the round, and that's going to be a 7th on the board for Tulsa.
Yeah, great retake coming in from Tulsa. The Hamza getting eliminated early in the round could have been mission critical. But they did a real good job on that retake. They had a good separation across. They had 1 player coming in from the 3 train, 1 and 2 players coming from Z, and then 1 coming from Ivy. And they all watched their proper angles since it was a man advantage for Miami. And they were able to pick them off 1 by 1. Great round overall coming in from Tulsa. But we're still seeing what can happen here for Miami as they're starting to press in. Hamza playing on top of the site. He's got some good angles. Gives away his side angle for a second. See if he can hold this control. He does. He's looking for a third. Not going to happen. But he does get this. His teammate does trade that kill, though. 14-8.
Did all the damage that he needed to do, and that was a gun round from Miami. They tried to take a fast A hit. Their A hits had been pretty successful up until that point, so they had good reason to do that. And Corey, we're starting to get into possibility that this can very well happen. The money's starting to look really good on Tulsa, and we're seeing another Deagle round coming out for Miami. We've seen that they're able to do some damage with these. They are now looking to run through the B bomb site. Something you mentioned on the other side of Tulsa, when they had their Deagles and their pistolers, they always hit the B site. So maybe Miami taking the same suit, but it looks like they're wanting to come out of Pop Dog this time. Oh, actually, I take that back. They're still looking to decide whether to go through B or not. And so Hamza taking the opportunity to get a little bit more of an aggressive angle. Got to be careful of the 1D. He sees 1 player there. Absolutely no reason to risk that.
Whoops. All right, get you. I'm heading back. But there's action happening on the inside right now as Obe finds Kyber. Now they're going to start to play against Purper here. Purper picks up 1 and sees the second grid control there. That was, yep. See if he can do it again. Bomb will get planted here by Miami, and there goes Purper. Now, I was going to make P2, yeah, it was a Glock. It does pick off with that. But one of the things I was going to share with you, Jono, is the way that Miami wins this round, or wins a round, is without having to actually win the round, is they need to take weapons away from these players. They need to take weapons away from Tulsa. As we take another look here, see if he'll pick up 2 kills there in the round. Good play there by Purper to be able to shut it down. But if you're on Miami's side, again, you're still looking to try to get to game point. That is the goal. You don't want to necessarily focus on the match point, winning the game. Just because that goal is going to get further and further away from you as you start to lose rounds. Maps like Cobble, maps like Train, very heavy CT-sided maps, those are things that you have to be thoughtful of while you're playing games.
Now we have a triple AWP setup here for Tulsa, using that money to the fullest. And now they're finding the picks. There's 1 in Ivy. Mob's not even afraid of it, just eats it.
And he's going to fall right into the hands right there on the other side. That's going to be Prospection. Picks up 2. He's gotten 2 kills in the round. Psycho picked up the earlier one. There he sees another one. Oh, that could have been bad. Could have been real bad. But, so this goes back to my point that I shared earlier, and you had a good notation as well. They had 3 AWPs in that round. And now they're hurting on money after this buy. So, this is the time frame. Now, Miami, of course, has been wanting to win rounds, no question. But this is the right time to win that round. If they win now, if Miami wins this round now, it should be game over.
Well, I'm going to counter your point with I see 10,000, 6,600, 6,700. So I
Valid, no, yeah, valid, no, I saw that as 1,000 there.
Oh, okay, yeah, that is a much different story there if they had 1,000. But they've got to get through at least two. They're going to have 2 real gun rounds that they're going to fight through. Yep.
That's why there's 2 of us. So that way we can correct each other. Not because it's easier to bounce back and forth on stuff.
Oh, absolutely not.
No.
I'm able to read things and read numbers, and you're able to speak English. And that's where I struggle the most.
Prospection. All right, 14-10. And Miami, they've dropped 2 players. Let's see the smoke. It's going to come over at... Now, they don't have the bomb. The bomb is actually dropped there. It is where they can be able to come back and pick it up. Are they all going to execute on the site? There it is. And that's going to be a challenge. You had 3 players to execute on a bomb site, and you didn't take advantage of it because you had to go back and pick up the bomb.
Oh, my goodness. Prospection. He sees so many here. He saw 4 players there. No one saw him, but there's Hamza. Able to rotate on over. Now it's down to Trinity Lord and a 1v3. If he finds here on O, that could be something, but no. The AWP, I wonder. Oh, is he shooting bodies? Only once. Okay, so nothing big there. Let's see if they go for another AWP. They sure do. They've got a lot of money. So that 6,000 I was talking about earlier has gone down to 1,800, but Hamza's up there, and then yeah, Obe's gonna.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep seeing that number now.
Yeah,
there are several digits there.
Yes, that is a large sum of cash that Tulsa has in their bank accounts. 14-11 in favor of Miami, still struggling to find that map
on the other side of smoke.
Oh my God! Oh, they ran out just in time, but they're all flashed. He doesn't find a kill. Trinity Lord getting to Ginger in a position that you would think that Ginger could find multiple. Hamza have to do it on the A side. Getting some assistance from Mott, finding 1, finding 2, and OF going down to the mean sides, but Ham still holding down on site. Will he find his 3rd? He is at 13 HP, and this is completely doable here, and he's getting a little bit too aggressive. Mop and Hamza holding it down for the team. 3 kills and 2, respectively, and heading into round 27. This is getting dicey.
It's a very CT-sided map, and what we're seeing from these players, I thought it was smart for Kybert. He didn't try to slow down that 1v2. You try to continue that momentum there on those last couple shots and try to win those gunfights, and he had a chance. I think he really had Mop in his sights. We will see another Deagle B-side rush coming in here. I mean, that's what always amazes me. It's the fact is that why would you push a bomb site with Deagles and say that this is the right way to go? But we'll see here.
And so Purper, we haven't seen a lot from him in this game, but what we have seen is great spray control onto B ramp and B
Let's go
upper.
Back to Purper. I want to see it.
And that is exactly the position that he is in right now. So
look
he's
at
just
that. 3 players are already inside of B, and they've got 1 on a flank. That's actually, is that Hamza? It is. Hamza's on a huge flank, and that's going to force their hand. They're going to have to be able to push into the site, and already we're down to 2 players left, and that's what you get for taking so much time. The round is
Purper's looking for more. He is blood hungry.
Where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at?
That's what I'm talking about, Corey. He loves this bomb site. He's been holding this down so consistently. Look at him. Everyone trying to get every little nickel and dime that they can find. Look at that. Deagles across the board. Smart move from them. And let's look at it here from Purper's perspective. Again, just it seems so fluid for him. He finds 1 other, and he's not able to get the bomb in time, so that's going to be a little bit extra money in the pockets for Miami. That might be able to make the difference, but they're going to have a full buy coming out now, and this is a very important round, Corey.
When we joined Purper earlier, not too far ago, he had 4 kills.
Sure did.
And here we are. We're watching how he's coming all the way back, coming back to life. It is a CT-sided map, but and he has been able to pick up a bunch of ecos. That's where a lot of this. Now we're going to start to see if Glaze wants to challenge this one.
And on the flip side, just to mention, Glaze was 17-7, and if I just saw that right, he's 20-18 right now. So the momentum of just being on the T side is so strong on this map. So now as we go into it, it looks like Miami,
Wow.
this is kind of what you said you didn't like to see. They're slowing it down and not fully committing to either one side or another. They're not sending their full force into it. They're not hitting it hard enough, as you'd say. Now, Glaze is going to look for a peek here. Didn't see anything. I don't even know if Obe shot there. It doesn't look like he did, so no information gathered. I'm not sure if he even saw them, but now Obe's going to use some utility there, and there are four people on the side of A.
I think Obe held on to it. I think he kept it. I don't know if he actually threw a smoke or anything. Purper did throw a molly to slow it down a little bit.
Yeah,
there's a smoke there. There's a smoke there. I wish that's the only thing I wish that we had in our HUD right now was being able to see the smokes and flash placements. But Purper inside wins the battle against Glaze.
And they're now going to see that as the A hit. Everyone is rotating over. You can see that Hamza's already in mid, and he's doing work. He got a little bit aggressive into Ginger, not able to find the shots, and just waiting. Yep, there. He sounds like he even heard you, waiting for this teammate. There's only 2 people on the site. They haven't gotten the bomb down yet. And look at the flank from downtown. That's Obe. He's coming from T spawn, but 2 players coming from connector. They've got to make something happen soon. The bomb is now down. The timer is on, so obviously they all have kits, and that is a great shot from Kybred. Kybred, I can't talk anymore, Corey, but it doesn't matter because he's taken down 1. He's got the utility out, and he's getting tagged up. Now Purper is able to find it, and that's going to close out this map. They made it expensive, but that's not what matters. You want to take rounds home, because when you look at the pockets of Tulsa, they are full of cash.
We are tied, 14-14.
What was your prediction?
16-13.
Corey, man, you are the 1 round off king. I really should have just said +1.
We don't know yet. The game is not over.
That is true, but I will say, you are very close, and I think something I would have appreciated to see is maybe even a timeout somewhere along the lines when it was at, it was 14 to...
I told you earlier, the fact is that you have to focus on trying. I mean, again, I know everybody's going to say, well, Corey, yeah, you're trying to win at least 1 round. What I'm trying to say is do not focus on how close you are to the W, because now you're going to start worrying about the fact that you're not even going to get the tie. And that's what they're concerned about right now. Miami's uber concerned they gave up that big of a lead. Even though they may know that this is a CT-sided map, they are now uber concerned that they have lost this many rounds in a row. And right now Tulsa is super high energy. And I will say that this is going to make a difference in our second map as well, because Tulsa picked Train, and now of course we'll see what they are able to do with it. But going into the second map after this, I think Tulsa will have some really good energy going into it. Now, I'm not going to try to call it. I'm not a doctor. I'm not saying they're dead yet. So we'll see how this map pans out, though.
Yeah, and they still have certainly a lot of life in them. They've got great utility. Even though there's 45 seconds left in the round, they can take whatever site they want with any executes. They just got to start setting them up soon. And remember, Core, we were looking at the triple AWP setup here for Tulsa, so they're holding all the angles. Glaze, once again, holding that B site, just being a nuisance on there. We're seeing 2 on B, and here comes the execute on A. They are running through right now. 1 in Pop Dog, and then we're seeing the other 3 coming out through A.
Nice job by Mom. And look at that spray. Gosh, that's not what you want to see, but he does still get the kill. Glaze is going to be on a quick rotate. This is going to be on the flank. And there goes Hamza. Hamza picks up 2 huge kills. And now it's down to a 2-on-2. Hamza, Obe. These brothers see if they can be able to do something here. Now worry about the flank. You're not paying attention. Oh, but Obe was. Oh, wait a minute. And here's the taps. Here's another defuse. Can he get the holy hand grenade? And no, he cannot. And Tulsa picks up the round. They are out at game point. 15-14. That was so close for Miami to be able to pick up that round. That's the closest that they've been since that early pistol round.
Man, that has to hurt, too. They had it in the clutches, and then Hamza just finding that 2K at the most pivotal point. Round number 30. We have gone the distance, and we have yet to see overtime in this tournament. I don't think we've seen a B hit when they've had guns.
We have not.
So maybe this might be the opportunity for them to hit.
Don't expect it. It would be the right call. but don't expect it. And if anything, they should hit it with B, because what you're seeing again, we have different lenses on this. As Glaze is going to drop by Obe. Obe has been changing his position throughout, but what we've been seeing is Obe and Purpur have been watching the inner bomb site, and Hamza has actually been rotating. He's been, again, we have the mindset. We can see what's actually happening, but Hamza has been going back and forth between the A and B bomb site. And if you watch him, he'll actually, if you give it a little bit more time, he actually probably feels really confident that his teammates have got this now on the inside. But here comes the execute towards the outer bomb site. Flash is coming back around, and there goes to Ginger. He picks up one there onto Psycho. Mop is another, and we're now down to Trinity Lord. And just like that, 16-14 in favor of Tulsa. Wow, what a fight coming all the way back. And there you have it. I told you, but no one believes me until it actually comes true. I'm always one round off, and it drives me nuts.
It's just so freaky to me.
It's
you're
wild.
one round off every time. I said it from the start. I wanted to be +1, whatever you are, and I should have stuck to it. I didn't believe it quite like that, but, man, that was absolutely an impressive hold. We were talking about control on the side of Miami. I think we didn't give enough credit to Tulsa and their level of control, because they just absolutely took everything, the whole life out of Miami. After those, it was the pistol round, and then the immediate round after is the only rounds that Miami won, and everything after was all Tulsa.
It's one of those things. I think Miami is an excellent counter-terrorist team. I think they're an excellent CT team. They've got a little bit of work. They need to kind of work together to find who's going to be their main entry fragger. I think that's their side. That is their weakness. A CT-sided train, which it is. I think that's a little bit of a struggle. I think I think that's going to be the route. They're going to have really successful rounds. Was it 12-3 was the first half score in favor of Miami, and they were able to pick up only 2 rounds. We're going to take a quick break. Coming up is going to be map number 2. We head over to Overpass after this. Visit GoArmy.com and learn about 150 different career opportunities available now. Esports in the U.S. Army, working together to make things better. We're here at the U.S. Army Presents Reload Collegiate CSGO tournament, and it's been a great tournament overall thus far. We've had 2 groups. We're currently heading into the final map possibly in this Group B, where we've got Miami and Tulsa facing off, and they're going to be starting here on, this is going to be Overpass. Whoever wins this best-of-3 series will then go into the playoff bracket, which will start on May 5th. John, man, it's been that has been a really good game to kind of start to watch there in that on that DE train.
Absolutely. And Corey, I've got a question for you. If you had a round like that, if you had a game like that where you're up 12-3, sure it's a T-sided map, how do you shake that off? I mean, honestly, you just blew a huge lead. We've always said this. It's a CT-sided map. They had the favor, and obviously it was also Tulsa's map pick, so you don't feel too bad about that. But ultimately, that is still a huge comeback.
Yep.
How do you shake that off and go into something, especially on an online match?
Yeah, so something that they won't have the ability to. They can't necessarily be right next to one another like we're hoping for, which we'll hopefully see in the fall semester, where we have collegiate teams actually here in our facility. But one of the things that we look at as we hop into this game, we're going to be on Overpass. One of the things that you have to be kind of paying attention to as a captain, as an in-game leader, and we'll hop into this round already as we are starting this one here. They are already starting to push around. Let's go and hop into the game, please, as we've got them already here working here towards the monster side. That's one player, but the action will probably culminate over there towards Long A here in just a moment. But one of the things I was trying to get to is the fact that we've got captains, in-game leaders. Those are the ones that need to go back to logic, go back to rationale. Because what you just said are all perfect points to be able to bring up. Kybrid finds an opening over there inside of B, though, as it looks like they kind of over-rotate a little bit. Got some gunfire coming in here. That's to Ginger. He's tapping. He's going to get dropped by Psycho.
Yeah, that is going to be the bomb down. So the Ginger had a Molotov. He used it somewhere in that round, and now the retake is on. There are no kits on the side of Tulsa, but there are USPs in which we know the damage that they can deal. Mop able to find the first one, and he gets the frag on him as well. He is down to 40 HP, and his teammate Ob is no longer in the server with him. He's got it all to do, but Trinity Lord coming through and taking him out. That is 3 kills for him to start off Overpass, and that is a good start for them.
Yeah, one of the things that I'll talk about too is we didn't see a whole lot of Trinity Lord in the map of Train, and he's one of his being a primary opper for Miami. You would suspect that he would do really well on Train. You'd see some high numbers. Prospection, on the other hand, was the one that was really playing extremely well. So we'll see here. They've got a 5-player stack inside of the B bomb site. I'm always a huge fan of this, just going ahead and giving a full gamble. But one of the things that you'll have to think about, though, as doing a whole B stack is really make sure you don't show your hand, make sure you don't peek too early. But what you'll probably see here is some lurking action. There's going to be no challenge. So the goal is, as you're playing inside of the B bomb site, you cannot have any contact. You have to basically allow them to get the bomb planted. But that's what's happening right now is there's no contact inside of the A bomb site. They now immediately realize that the bomb site is clear, and now you're going to see a quick rotate. It looks like we've got one player that's Prospection. Prospection, who's actually moved forward, and he's got a good angle, especially with a MAC-10.
Well, he's only going to find one player, but that's Ob, and he's taking him down with ease. He's going to find the other 3 coming through the other side, but actually Trinity Lord's going to pick them up. So just spraying through the smoke. Wow, $600 just for spraying through the smoke. That's got to feel good. And they've got full control of this round. The last player remaining is Ham, so he's just going to run away. Or maybe he's going to find an exit. Yeah, he's holding the angle. But the MAC-10 is just too strong. That is that's only $1,800 in the pocket of Prospection. So there you go, spraying through the smoke just like that. I wonder if he even saw them or if he just decided to spray through.
Well,
I didn't see him.
He only got 1 kill out of that set.
Oh, he did?
Yeah,
okay.
He only got 1. Trinity Lord actually got 2. As I looked up at back up at the kill feed. So Trinity Lord right now 5-0. He's looking to see if he can pick up even more now. Another save round, but this time we've got a Deagle buy. 4 Deagles and a 5-7.
I will say, Trinity Lord, he had some good rounds for himself on the CT side of Train. It's just when they hit that T side is when really the whole team of Miami went a little bit quiet. But here we go. Oh, trying to be quiet in restrooms, but not going to find any luck. Doesn't even find a bullet. His head gets clean shaven off. And that is a 3v5 situation going into the A side. Looks like they're going to go A long. They saw one player going out there, and that is Mop. He's got a Deagle and a lot of work ahead of him.
Don't tell me they're going to rotate all the way back towards B.
Wow, these...
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing, and they're just going to get players caught in the rotate. Now, I mean, they've got all the choices in the world. Purper is going to this is smart. You just set up for your angle. You just give it up. You don't necessarily try to rotate towards it. They're going to get the bomb planted inside of B. There's no fault here. And the question is, you've got 100 health. You got 100 ammo or 100 armor as well. Just save the Deagle. Save it for the next round. There's no reason to try to challenge it. Don't give up that money. So that's exactly what it looks like he's doing here. He's going to save this weapon, checking all of his angles, making sure he's good here. We'll see if Miami decides to chase after him. I doubt that would be the case too. Might have one lurker that's going around. Because he can cause some damage if he picks up.
If it's anyone, I would think it's Prospection, just because he's got the MAC-10, he's got a lot of money, so odds are he's going to buy a gun. And look at that, he might even find him, unless the 1D comes through. No, it doesn't. Oh, the screen shook because the bomb. That has to hurt for a Deagle player, and that is another $600 in his pocket. You got to be happy with that. At this point, you're wondering, do you even buy guns, or do you just keep the ones you have and pocket the money? Yeah, you're going to buy that time upgrade from the MAC-10. You're going against other rifles. MAC-10 not really great in that situation, so we see one AK coming through, and then that's it, keeping on the Galeals and already existing AKs. So that is already a good amount of cash in the pockets of Miami as we head into round 4. Starting to see the double AWP setup now, and we saw a lot of success on that on the Train setup. So finding the first pick on Psycho. Nice pick there from Trinity Lord, and he's just going to run forward with it. He smokes off restrooms. They know, actually they don't know that one player is there in the Ginger.
You wouldn't think that naturally, that you'd have 2 players playing bathrooms. But there was no contests that happen over there towards long, so you may now start this later part of the round. You may start to anticipate the rotation, and Trinity Lord eats a whole door worth, and so see if he can. Yep, he closes it after. Good. He wasn't raising a barn. That's good.
So we saw how much damage that he could do on the A site on Train, but actually doing no damage here on Overpass. And that is a nice pick there from Trinity Lord. He is absolutely feeling it so far in this round. We're only 4 rounds in, and we can tell that he's got it on. So Ob here's got a kit. He's got a big task ahead of him with 3 players, and Trinity Lord only needs 1 bullet in him. And with an AWP, you really need only 1 bullet into any player. And it seems like he's just trying to find any peaks where he can. He's got 2 flashes and a smoke to his name alongside a kit, helmet, and armor. So if he saves this AWP, is able to save it into the next round, he's going to have a good amount for him going.
Yeah, I'm looking back at the previous game, and he was 20-4.
Oh.
Sorry, 20-21 was Trinity Lord.
Okay.
That we were talking about. So, and currently right now he's 10-0, and Glaze is 0-0. I hope that's maybe that's a code glitch, but maybe not. But he hasn't really had to do anything because Trinity Lord is doing everything.
Well, there's one way I guess we could find out if we just pull up the scoreboard in game. That can give us the answers we need, but not necessarily. We can always find out at a different time. So it looks like they're trying to take a hit here, or excuse me, a B hit. I had my sights mixed up. So now they're running through Monster. Flash is coming out. Hamza's once again got a big task ahead of him. We saw how much success he had in the last map, and only finds 1 this time. And Purpur able to find a trade for himself, but getting traded off. Fight Psycho and Glaze getting the bomb planted. Now the Ginger losing that fight again to Trinity Lord, 11-0. He is on fire.
Where was this at before? As Mob's going to backtrack. 3-on-2. Trinity Lord is definitely hungry for more. Mob makes his way into the site. There's going to be the player right there inside of water. And Obe says, well, this op is too expensive to let go, but he is being chased. And good job by taking down Psycho. I don't know. Where's his range at? Let's see. Let's go back to Obe real fast. I want to make sure he does get away with this. He does. So I was, just for a quick time frame, now we've got just a brief moment in freeze time. I was looking back at the previous matchup, or previous map, and it really tells a good tale. You can see that Kybrid and Prospection, they're 22-21, give or take, and then the rest of the team was 20-21. So overall, they did a collective, they worked together as a team, and that's where they got to. But on the opposite side, Hamza was 35-21. So he was really going ham.
Come on, that one was just too easy. There you go, Trinity Lord showing who is the real boss in these parts of Overpass. The Ginger, nice pick there. That's going to shake him up a little bit. He's getting away with it as well. Slowing their roll now is Miami. Know that he's there, and he's created a little bit of noise, so that gives opportunity for Mop to get in position on this A site. We also see that the Ginger is pretty far forward on A long now. Going for a very long flank. We're seeing Purpur finding one in Munster on the B side, and still not a commitment onto A. Getting a really aggressive is... Wow, maybe he expected them to start rotating and was trying to get a flank, but I don't think there was any reason that he had to push that far forward that fast, and now they're going to get a free bomb plant. Actually, no, they're not on the bomb yet. There's no one on site, however. It seems like they will still get the plant, and they don't seem to know that the Ginger's on this long flank, and Purpur is also coming through mid. So he's got the rifle. He's got the AWP, actually. Nice smoke. He sees one, but misses the shot and reveals his position. So Glaze able to get Hamza through the Molotov, and they know exactly where he's coming through now. There's only a kid on the Ginger, and now he's pushing long is Purpur, but Angle's being watched. He doesn't win the fight, and Psycho able to take that one. AWP still in the hands of the Ginger.
He save it. Yep.
Yeah, I was just about to say, looking like he wants to save it. Gets caught on the bench there and pulls out the knife and just starts booking it. That is round 6 here for Miami. Their map pick is starting to look very solid for them. Obviously, we saw that it was a very sweet turnaround from Tulsa on the last time, but Corey, what excuse do we have for them this time?
I mean, the fact is that Trinity Lord came out to play. I mean, that's what I'm looking at. He's winning a lot of gunfights, a lot of them. He's only lost 1 gunfight out of these past 6 rounds. So he's playing extremely well. Glaze picked up his first kill of the game, so that's cool. But there's no need for him to do any work there because he's got a teammate that's been playing extremely well.
Moral support.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes you just need the guy to tell you, good job. As Prospection's finding his way through mid.
Good job on that.
Thanks, Corey. Oh, man, I threw you the alley-oop. I was like, here we go. I'm feeling confident. I can say it. I said it in my head 4 times. I said, I can do this. I got this.
I told you, good job.
That's an assist. If we had scoreboards right here, you would be 0-0 and 1. You'd have 1 assist.
I'd probably be like 10-0 and 1.
All right, so we're going to get back into the match. Starting to see a B hit through mid this time. Actually going for a boost is Hybrid, but made some noise, started to spray through, and he might get an angle. Oh, you can see him just clicking. Nice, there you go.
Almost got the spray. That's a good pattern there.
That is unfortunate if you're Tulsa. You just cannot get anything. Can't find the shot. Is Mop. That would have helped a lot. Now Psycho finding Hamza and Glaze, excuse me. Now we were watching Astralis here, so structured play.
Oh, Glaive.
Well, I want to say you go for this, but at the same time, the money is shot. So I just feel like every single round is someone on Tulsa is being like, well, I can't win this. I'm going to save a gun. And sometimes you got to turn these save guns into converted round wins. So they're leaving the one guy on site. That is Kybrid peeking through heaven. And, yep, I think they have some knowledge that he's going to be there, even flashing him. I think Kybrid might have even poked and seen him there. Looking for exits potentially at this point, but gotta be careful. Yeah, he's keeping himself nice and vulnerable. Gets away with 22 health.
He wanted to get
and
down.
it looks like there's
the chase.
There's
it's on.
He definitely saw him.
Did he?
Oh, well.
He had a teammate, yeah.
Yeah, maybe that was the bait. They saw each other. Neither of them wanted to fight. So like, Trinity Lord, you're hot. Go kill him.
That's right.
Like, oh, boy. Here I go killing again.
Nice. I like that.
You thought Morty was the only voice I could do from that show, huh?
Yeah.
I will save the people at home. Not going to do that here, but it is 7-0 in favor of Miami, and I'm sure people in the production room are going, oh, thank God he's not doing it.
We hear it a lot. We haven't heard it a lot in a while, though. John, it's good seeing you.
Thanks, Corey. That's your wholesome moment for the day, and so now we're seeing Molotov and Flames busting on the B bomb site. Hell has risen for Tulsa and is in the form of round 8. Fire everywhere. In heaven, there is fire. No one left standing on the side of Tulsa after that hit, but Mop able to find one peek, but immediately traded back by Kybrid. And look at that Glaze. Good Lord, this is looking smooth. Absolutely smooth. And Corey, if my memory tells me right that this is a pretty neutral map, not necessarily T-side heavy, not CT side heavy, and so the performance we're just seeing out of Miami is absolutely convincing that they wanted this map pick for certain.
Yeah, no, the way that they're playing though, but it's one of the things I've noticed is that it's not necessarily that they're doing like full executed strats, but they are kind of watching particular angles. They've got a way that they're kind of working their way forward. See, like again, right there, checking to make sure that that angle was proper. He went ahead and tried to jump peek him, which is a tough flick for a player like that. So, yeah, it's going to be a long 2 weeks. So that's one of the things that I'll kind of be paying attention to is how they're playing this. They're playing super smart on each of the angles. Again, we saw the boost earlier where they were able to see the player over there towards barrels with the AWP scoped in. There's going to be those little details of what we're seeing from Miami in this game.
Absolutely. So, was
I just
spotted
now realized
there
all
earlier.
the stickers of Simple that he's got on his AK.
Not enough. Needs more. But hey, if you're performing like they are
He
right
also
now,
has stickers. That's funny.
by the power of Simple, and this might look like it's going to be Tulsa's first round. They really like. Oh my goodness, they have a triple op setup.
Why not?
They really like just investing all of it. Corey, as you can see here, that might pay off for him in the end. So Mop setting up towards Monster. The execute's coming through. 1 player's, 2 players, 3 players running in now, and Mop's finding himself in no man's land, getting pincered, but Hamza able to pick up 1, able to pick up 2, and that's the bomb. The last person is Purper taking up the kill on Prospection. Round number 1 on the board in round 9, moving on to round 10. Plenty of money in the bank for Miami. They're not hurting after that one bit. So let's get a replay here on Hamza. Finds one there and finds the other right there, and that's the bomb. Boop, coming on right through, as you like to say, the little candy piece that falls out towards the end.
Little party favor. All right. Now we see a quick execute. Let's see if they can hold this one here. That's right around the corner is actually, there's Mop. Mop misses the first one. And Purper made his way over there towards Sandbags, but Hamza, he's having fun, as well as Mop. Oh man.
My Lord.
Here we are, and
goodness,
there you have
happened?
it. Well, there you go, Mop. 1, 2, and 3 for Mop. Good job.
I'm not really sure why they had to take such a fast round there. Maybe they're just trying to keep the tempo up, keep the pace up, trying to keep their momentum, really trying to take it by force. But as we know in CSGO, rushes are, I feel like a Hail Mary move. And I don't feel like they're in a position to which they need to do a Hail Mary quite yet. Their money is still good.
Well,
it almost seems like a charity round on the board. Sure, it's 2-8 in favor of them, but...
So I want to pull you back for just a second. You don't anticipate, if we go over here, let's look at Per as well as Hamza and Mop over here in the B bomb site right now while we're waiting for this round to kind of come together. So in the B bomb site, you currently have 3 players here. That is unusual. Usually what you'll see is 2 players in the B bomb site, 1 in connector, 1 in long, and 1 in bathrooms. We are not seeing that. The fact that they had all 3 players right there inside the bomb site is irregular. And they came right in. They did a 5-man rush towards the B bomb site. I'm okay with the rush from time to time. You don't want to see it over and over again, but that's something that I think was there. And Obe is on fire.
Literally, well, he's taking out Trinity Lord, and he was also on fire, and they're going to run through the smoke. Oh, a little bit premature on that shot there from Mop, and now Prospection finding the kill on him, and that's going to give them the site. Hamza making his way up. We know how much of an impact player he can be, and they've got a mighty task in front of them now. 2v4, bomb not planted in their favor towards restrooms. First player's trying to poke out his hand, so he's going to find one. Now they know where he's at, and he's going to work with his teammate. He thought he had, oh my god, he still had him!
Still gave him a chance to turn on him. No smokes, just a grenade here. There's a flashbang. I'm okay with this. Let's see. Nope, nobody there. And there's one. Can he get another one? Well, why would he be over there in bathrooms as well? He is going to go ahead and save this AWP. Yeah, he's stat padded enough. He's out of there. And so now it's going to be 9-2 in favor of Miami.
Yeah, and at that point, you just had to look at the time. Realistically, like you said, he didn't have the utility. He didn't know where the last guy was at, and that's a very vulnerable position, putting him right there. It's best what he did. Just take the AWP and get it while he can. There you go. There's that double, I would say. That's like the double take where you shoot someone. Oh wait, you're still there. It's like when you hit a fly.
Why are you still there?
It's like you hit a fly with a fly swatter, and then it starts walking. It's like, what are you doing? How many times do we gotta tell you, old man?
No, I think that was a smart play. I do think that even though he did not have utility, if he had health, I think he would have challenged it. I think he would have baited it. But the fact is he was at 8 HP. That was a smart play to be able to save that AWP. I can't recall. Was that the round that they had 3 ops?
Yes.
Okay.
Now only having 2, but Ginger playing very far forward on A long and catching out Psycho unexpectedly. So now it is a 4v5. Looking to make a B hit here, starting in restrooms. Trinity Lord been on fire, 14-4, and there you go. Glaze taking out Hamza. There is the Molotov, and there's the peek. Able to see Obe, excuse me. AWP as he's been rocking this whole map. And now here comes the execute. They know he's gone A long. They're trying to pincer him off. He's going to peek. Oh, just in time. The smoke blooms. He's down to 14 HP. He's got the angle. He's got 1. Glaze going down.
Don't have to repeat there. That's right. Nope, you should have done that, though. Yeah, pushing in was Purper. He tried to gamble a little bit there. That's going to leave it up to Mop now. Mop with the AWP in hand. He's all the way back in towards B. He's heading out towards Monster. He's bought himself a train ticket. He's trying to get off this map with this op and see if he can save for another round.
That looks like exactly what he's going to do. He might try to find some picks here. Oh, nope, he's going to just, yeah, why risk it? We've seen that they like to get that that double AWP set up for themselves. I'm not sure if they'll have enough money after this round to do that or not. I don't think they will. So going with one at least is something. Oh, no, they have, now that I look at the money closer, they absolutely will not have the ability to do that unless they go glass cannon. I don't foresee them trying to do that. But that is 10 on the board for Miami.
Hamza could buy an op for a teammate and still be good. That's going to be the question here. Hamza has not bought yet. How bad do you really want this op? He's going to say that I won't have any nades, and they do not.
Saving it for the next round. Now it's here where we see the two going towards B. Actually, three once again, Corey. Like you said, a little bit not unethical, but
it's just unethical.
Just absolutely absurd.
How dare they?
Unorthodox is the word I was looking for. And Trinity Lord now with an AWP of his own.
Let's keep it unethical.
Yeah, you want to keep it unethical? Well.
All right. Let's see here.
Last time we saw them do this boost, there was a lot of success. They
could work again for them.
Yeah, they got OPE for free, and now it looks like this time if they get it, they're once again not looking for it.
Let's hop with Kybrid. So there you go. You got
oh, this time they're looking for it. Now they're catching the head, and instantly.
Hamza says no.
Yeah, Prospectus says, oh, let's get out of there. He sees that they're shooting back, throws the grenade exactly where they were. That'll do a good amount of damage. Just kidding, completely whiffs. Wow, nice entries here from Psycho finding one.
I was expecting Purpur to stay in the fire for long enough where he'd get dropped, but nope. Bomb is being planted. It has been planted now inside of B. Mop and Ginger, there's a point to, as you mentioned earlier, Jono, that you have to start trying to win rounds. They decide, though, they're going to save. Mop has money to be able to buy his teammates. He's got full nade set, full armor, everything here. So these two are going to have money to help their teammates out. There's enough of a round bonus for them to buy for their teammates as well. That's going to bring us into round number 14. And man, Miami, this is definitely their map. It's the way this map is not T-sided this heavy.
Oh.
And, yeah. So, John, I've got one rule. One rule in all of Counter-Strike. I'll say this over and over and over again.
I think I know what your rule is.
What's this rule?
If you're saving guns, save the guns.
Exactly. No reason to look at angles. Don't try to challenge certain points. If your intent was to save the weapon, save the weapon. That's finding yourself a nice little hole, forcing yourself to win a gunfight if you have to. But that's not what we're seeing.
This is a strange angle, if you ask me, for an MP7. I would like to get a little bit closer. There we go, making it much more personal now. Finding one through connector, doing a lot of damage. Doesn't even hit back for it, but ooh, all it takes is one with that AK, and Psycho putting him down. Prospection was the one taking the beating from that MP7 all the way down to 32 as they slowly make their way onto the A bomb site. So they've got another dual AWP setup. We see Mop on the site, and rotating over is Obe. Trinity Lord finding his own pick, and that is going to trade back the AWP striking from Mop, but not expecting the one from long.
Don't do it.
Aggressive, and oh my lord.
Don't do it. I think he was going to try to do it, but he got caught by the wall. Oh man. And now the bomb is being picked up over near T spawn and rotating back over there towards the B bomb side. Glaze on the lurk, and there goes Mop. Mop is making a lot of noise, but Glaze is holding inside of A. Bomb will get planted. He hasn't unscoped yet, and they know exactly where he's at. He misses the shot. Now be on the lookout for Glaze. Glaze is going to be right here, and he's just waiting because they're going to save. He's going to try to save his weapon again.
3, 2, 1. There it is. There goes that AWP. Corey, they've been holding on to that one forever, trying to save it as long as they could, and look what it ended up. Not even picked up.
Yep.
So that one just getting blown.
No reason to. You definitely don't want to buy or have an op on your T side. That was definitely a battle tested. You definitely don't want to have an AWP on your T side.
What you didn't see there is that you said that, and then as soon as you said that, Trinity Lord literally the moment you said you don't want an AWP, he picks one up for himself. So maybe they're trying to look through a B hit. Or excuse me, I thought they were going to say
This is the
an A
last
hit
round,
through.
too. I mean, you could get an angle and peek and see if you can get a pop, but then after that, you go back and you pick up yourself an AK along those lines. But Trinity Lord is an offer. Sometimes you can't take the op out of an offer. It's just not the case. So.
Yeah, in your case, Corey, whenever you're feeling it, you'll buy a scout, even when we got tens of thousands of dollars. And your perspective there is, well, we're winning so much, let me just use a scout. And then we proceed to lose, and I usually log off at that point. But here we go. Looking to make it 13 is Miami. Trinity Lord getting the bomb down. Hybrid trying to do it all for his team on the site, but Trinity Lord also with his own AWP. Now that's revealing his position, and that's turned into a 1-on-2 with the FAMAS.
Yeah, currently you've got Glaze. Glaze was on the heavy rotate.
Doesn't have a kit, so making this move, there's really only one possibility for him to be at. He sees the gun barrel there, but didn't even make noise, and Glaze is going to see him. He's at least going to get the AK, but he's got to get going pretty much right now. The grenade's even going to slow him down. He's got to find the kill right now and then get it on the defuse. There's not enough time. He's going to have to save that AK for the next round, but unfortunately, that's the half. 13-2. Corey, this is almost the same exact stat line we saw on the flip side. It was 12-13, but this is not Train. This is the map pick of Miami University of Ohio, and 13-12 is the count. So, Corey, I don't even know what to say here other than we need to see that same exact success coming through from Tulsa, and if I'm looking on my sheet here, they actually have banned Overpass in their history so far. Maybe not a map they're comfortable with. So I don't think their routes are going to be as robust and built out as what we saw in Miami. But who knows? We could see whatever we saw it happen last map. And we're going to have to see it here as it begins with Glaze on A-Long and Mop finding the first pick. Now we're seeing a huge amount of damage going on. The Trinity Lord down all the way to 7. Meanwhile, everyone on the side of Tulsa is pretty healthy. Running into the site now. The bomb is making its way back to mid.
Oh, what is going on? This is a bad call coming around. They're going through connector. They're going to be caught on the backside. We're not watching it yet. There's Hybrid. Man, that could have been so bad coming in for Tulsa as they rotated through, but it's still not over yet. Psycho and Prospection. Oh, man.
That's a shot you have to hit. He had the opportunity. He had 2 of them there. He gets 1. I'm not sure what's going on anymore.
Oh
it's
my
a
gosh.
1v2, and he's about to get the ace. He's about to close it out. All he needs is one
does.
more, and he got all 5 of them, Corey. That's going to be 14
so awesome.
on the map. I'm not sure what happened there from Tulsa, but Psycho proving to his name, finding all 5, clicking the heads. I would love to see a replay of that. Missing it all. It looks like he was trying to get a knife. I'm not sure he was going for an ace.
I think there's something bigger that happened just there.
Boom!
That was Hamza, but you can take a look, and they win that gunfight. We are in a timeout from Tulsa. I am wondering what happened. There has to be something because that was weird. That was very, very, very strange.
I'm just waiting for Tulsa to type in the chat. We were going for the knife frowny face. Obviously, that's a callback to a much previous match that happened many years ago for different reasons, but I'm not really sure. He wasn't even looking in the right place. There were 3 people looking at him. They couldn't find even body shots at that point.
He
Psycho
wasn't blind or anything. That's strange. But we won't linger too much more on that. That was just to give a huge kudos to Psycho. Psycho picking up the pistol ace. That could be that after all of this. As they're right now heading over here. We've got Trinity Lord inside of mid, causing a lot of damage. Prospection trying to get some cover fire there. There's the trade, and he continues to try to spray him down, but now they've got themselves a couple of weapons, Obe and Hamza. Bomb is dropped over there towards Playground, and they're going to start to go back, pick that up, but Obe doesn't want to give up this angle. So much time here in this round, and this could go back in Tulsa's favor if they wait for them to linger long enough.
The only rifle that we see is on Psycho, and he is at that position as we just saw there, waiting to see if they go for a rotation to B. Meanwhile, we see the 2 other players on site at A, and we just saw them from the perspective of Glaze. He's now taking the fight onto the restroom, going to get the Molotov down, forcing their hand, forcing them to come out now. So we should see the rotation coming out through. Kyber able to find 1. It's all onto Hamza. He's not able to do it, and that's round number 15 on the board for Miami. And Corey, wow. I've got a feeling that I'm going to feel last round going into tomorrow and the next day, as my throat did not appreciate that very much.
So Miami, just like that, going to force it. I mean, we see why at least the way that it seems right now, why they chose overpass. They've got their angles. They feel comfortable with it. And I'll definitely take some notes and see if I've seen them choose overpass multiple times. But here we have it. Trinity Lord with the opening on Hamza. That's going to be a big, huge opener. There's another bout there with Trinity. Trinity picks up another one. There goes Prospection. And they are dropping like flies. And in a game, in the previous game where Hamza had 32 kills to his name, he has 9 in this one.
Ginger also not having a stand-up performance himself, 7 and 15.
He got boosted up on top of the door. That's funny.
If it ends in this round right here. So looking to close it out.
That's a fun angle.
Psycho finding Purper, and it's all on to Obe. This seems dire. Doesn't even have the bomb.
Obe doesn't see him there either.
He sure doesn't, and that would be a funny way to go if he jumps down and snipes him.
Yep.
And who other but Psycho to drop down with the one tap.
Wow.
16-2 definitive match there from Miami University of Ohio. And now we are going on to the decider map, Mirage. And that's the interesting one, Core, because we saw that earlier today when the day began. We had the first match of the day was UConn and OK State. Then we had the second match was Miami versus Tulsa on Mirage, where we saw Tulsa 16-13.
Yeah, and now the way that game shaped out, remember that they only got 5 rounds against Miami for Tulsa. It was a 10-5 first half score where Miami was leading that one. And then all of a sudden we saw Tulsa come all the way back to make it a 16-13. So that's going to bring us to our third and final map of the day. This map decides whether or not who we'll see actually go into the playoffs. Is it going to be Tulsa or is it going to be Miami University from Ohio? We'll find out after the break.
Like a wrecking ball, on fire, so high to the top is where I'm heading. Gonna be a legend. Gonna be a legend.
CSGO is brought to you by the U.S. Army, well, the Reload presented by. You've got more than 150 careers. Find what's your warrior best fit at GoArmy.com. Again, this is the U.S. Army present Reload Collegiate CSGO Invitational. We started off with 28 teams. Currently, we've got 3 teams that have made it into the playoffs that will be kicking off on May 5th. We're about to find out who will be that 4th team that will join the ranks with the rest and who will be sent home. Is it going to be Tulsa or Miami? We'll find out on Mirage. The last time these 2 teams faced off was actually on Mirage, and it was a 16-13 in favor of Tulsa. So we'll see which way this is going to go. John, prediction for this matchup.
Hard to say. Honestly, very hard to say. So if I remember correctly, Tulsa closed it out from the Ninja Diffuse. So that means that they started on the T side, which was 10-5. So we'll have to follow along that storyline to see which side they would like to start with and which side they have the most success. But I think this can go either way. T side on Train was was really difficult for both these teams. We saw 16-14 in favor of Tulsa, but that last map was such a blowout. It was hard to say if Tulsa was even ready for overpass, but we know they're ready for Well,
you can't keep stretching this out any longer as we're hopping into the game here on Mirage.
Oh, that's how you say it? Okay, I thought it was close.
Mirage or Mirage. Mirage. All right, so quick numbers. What's the score? What's the final score line here?
I'm going to just say 16-13 in favor of Tulsa. I'm just going to go exactly with what we've seen.
I'm going to go 16-12 in favor of Miami.
Oh, and Psycho, here we go again. Already starting hot on the pistols. That's 3.
Tap.
That is 4, and he's almost got 5. Woo. Trying to make me lose my voice already as the end of this day. He wanted that ace, was just 1 shot away, and it's leaving it all on the Hamza versus Glaze right now, and that's going to close it out with Trinity Lord getting the first round of the board for Miami. Just as we saw it last time, Corey. They are starting with Tulsa on T-side, and here's that replay. As you've seen, he's letting them all run through. If he got a little bit faster on that one, didn't matter. He's been able to pick that third.
I love those taps. Those are really, really solid taps. Really slow, not getting too crazy with it, not just pew-pewing away. He was very considerate on each one of those shots. So, Psycho with a good start. That's what you need. You need these players to be playing well. So, Trinity Lord inside of mid. Man, this is going to be a fun game to watch. I know that there's, I feel like really you've got some, some fire in the eyes of Miami now, after especially coming in with a really strong second map. They really came back in full force. And look at this, they've already eliminated this round quickly, and so now the score is 2-0. We've watched some crazy games, but the first map of this series was 12-3 in the very first half. And that was the time that we saw that Miami was playing so well, and then they ended up losing on Train 16-14. Naturally, you would think that that would make a huge impact on a team. And I talked about it before. The reality is these team, the Miami team, they're fully vetted. They've got jerseys, they're fully set up, they've got the esports pose. They are that logic that comes in, and that's why they were able to win that second map 16-2. And the fact is, they lost to Tulsa 16-13. I just don't see them losing again if they keep that same type of mentality. They're going to come in with fire and see what they can do here. And it's been a long day for Tulsa as well. So these players, we started this day with these two teams at 1 p.m. It is currently 8:30 at night as we kind of advance here.
Yeah, and they both had to sit through a tornado warning as well.
Yes,
So if they weren't just mentally exhausted from gaming, there's also the life aspect getting thrown into the mix. Last time we saw this position, it was Tulsa going up 3-0.
Yep, that's correct as well.
And I think it swung to 8-3 before Tulsa started fighting back, if I'm correct, which ended at a 10-5 half. So we're seeing a little bit different approach thanks to the start off from Psycho and a few early picks this round coming from Kybrid. Actually, just one pick onto Mop, who is 0-3, and that was at a stairs. And now Hamza finding himself on the site. We know that he can be quite loud, and finding Trinity Lord.
He is. He can definitely be loud.
But not loud enough. They didn't believe it, as they only had one other person on site. Now the rest of the team is on site, and that's the bomb going down. He's going to hunt him down. The fire is going to claim him, as the bomb is not going down just yet. And Psycho finding 2 at the end there, closing it out. Round number 3 in the bag.
So I think this does come down to whether Hamza can really help out his team. He has to go off. I think he is kind of the critical piece, the X factor for Tulsa. So, but right now, a lot of players. Trinity Lord had a really impressive second map to start things off.
Oh,
and there he goes. Great gun control, and picking up the first one. This is an eco round. A couple deagles. A Tech 9 has been brought out, but I know it sounds like I'm already writing the obituary.
well, this one is. I will say, I think
the mood feels different.
You're valid in writing in this round. They're left with a Tech 9 and a Glock. Not the weapons you want to see, but in a position like that, it's not too bad. And they're just going to hold tight. They have absolutely no reason to run out yet. At the end of the round, they're going to run out, and sacrifice themselves to gain some money, but it seems like Psycho's not prepared for 2 of them there. Well, it didn't matter because he's able to find 1. He's not able to find 2, but Glaze able to get the trades, gonna swap that FAMAS for an AK, and that is round number 4 for Miami, 4-0. Here are the first gun rounds coming in for Tulsa. And this is where they need to make a splash. As you mentioned, Hamza is 2-4 right now. He's that X-Factor player as we've been keeping our eye on him. For the side of Tulsa, he's got to step up. He's got to find some picks here and there. And Obe, I think, has been pretty quiet on the op, and as I'm saying that, finding a pick in mid through Trinity Lord, but might not expect Glaze to be there. Nope, not at all. And we've been seeing that all day through Glaze when they were playing against Oklahoma State. He was pushing through mid without a care every single time. Instead of the Kybrid sitting in sandwich, he's hearing everything. He's seeing 1 player in Palace. He just saw the Molotov. I think he heard 2 others. Just going to hang tight. Call for his team, and now Mob's finding on Prospection. Finding 1, finding 2, not quite actually. But Psycho able to clean it up. It is now a 2v2. The bomb is down on the site.
So now they don't have to pressure it. One of the things that is beneficial for them, they know it's down to a 2-on-2. Whenever he goes for the bomb plant, they'll hear that bomb planted, and that's why you're seeing them get aggressive here, trying to peek out. The goal for them, though, so the bomb is going to get planted. Oh, bad Molly. Just catches the lip of that box. Didn't intend for all that to happen that way. Trying to bank it off the edge.
Well, they know. They definitely lit him up. When he had to go grab the bomb, they know they did a lot of damage to. So they're just trying to find any little crumbs that they can get. And now pushing on out. That is getting taken out is Glaze. A little bit too aggressive. And Ginger's just taking that was Psycho just taking a very aggressive stance, betting on the fact that Mop wouldn't peek. Sure does, and that's going to be round number 1 going on the board for Tulsa. The money's still looking pretty good on the side of Miami, so they'll be able to get some guns and utility here, and Tulsa's going to have to break that economy next round if they want a shot at getting some more rounds on the board, or making it an easier time to getting rounds on the board, but they're going for a fast A hit. Mop is already out from stairs. He sees the Molly on there. Didn't get the player towards stairs. That is Glaze. He's taken out. Oh, and Kybrid following up on Purper, but that is 2 more trades coming out. It is now a 3v3. They've got the site, but the bomb is down. They need to get that bomb planted. Corey, this has been the name of the game. They get sites, but the bomb's down. They're not able to get the plant. They've now got the bomb. 2 players coming from CT and 1 player in jungle. Prospection finding his way outside. He's going to see his back turn to Mop. The bomb doesn't even get down in time, and now Trinity Lord getting the AWP kill through the smoke, and it's just falling to pieces. Trinity Lord keeping it together from jungle and just absolutely denying the bomb plant. Corey, I feel like we've seen that so many times where Tulsa will have the site. Whether it's Mirage or any other game we've seen, they just need to get that bomb down sooner.
Yeah, it gives them a little bit of a chance to fight around it and not be so focused on that one objective right away. One of the things that I've been jotting down here is Miami has been playing, not just sitting and waiting. Miami has been playing for roughly, about 6 hours of matches. They'll be getting close to that 6-hour mark here soon. And then you've got Tulsa has been playing now for 4 hours out of today. So a lot of gameplay. This is where it's a marathon. Players are basically kind of working off each other. This is where you start to be a complete mental game on top of things. And so I just want to call that out. They've been playing some Counter-Strike at a high competitive level for a while now for both of these teams.
Not only physically exhausting, but for those at home playing Counter-Strike is very well mentally exhausting. So much strategy, so many things you got to keep in mind, and just missing one shot just like that can be so tilting. So 2 players coming through Connector, and we see I was so close. Prospection, we've seen a lot of success from him in previous games coming through Connector, but this time he's going to take it through Ticketing Booth. No one is going to be on the site just yet. He's going to get 1 Molly over, and he's finding a pick onto Pupper. Wow.
It's been a day.
It certainly has been a day, Corey. Playing and commentating sometimes feels equally as difficult, but in this round, it's going to be Miami's 6-1.
Man. Miami, again, they if you're just now joining us, welcome. But 16-2 is that second map from Miami. And right now, they've got some really good control. And Deagles and Tech-9s are coming out. I think Obe is an opper, straight in, straight out. And so for him not having the chance to get to it, to be able to leverage the op is going to be detrimental for him as a particular player. And right now, them having to be on this Deagle, this Tech 9 save, you're going to see Prospection slow them down even further. Another Molly coming out there. Ginger is like, wow, at least I'm not that stool. Who's that lurking? And that is Hamza. That should have been expected. I don't know why I questioned it. Here he goes. He sees him jumping back and forth. He's hoping that he'll hop back into the crosshairs one more time, but he may get too focused on that point. And Hamza is now working up inside of mid. He now checks around the corner. No contest. I like this. They need to wait. Hamza had a huge call out saying, hey, wait for me, wait for me, wait for me, wait for me, wait for me. Dude, oh, don't do that. That's not a... No, you shouldn't have done that. I'll explain why in a second as they're going to be pushing in towards the site. Now they're going to have to worry about two different angles as Psycho...
Hamza also got picked up on the way over.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Gosh. You cannot do that.
So Corey, I'm gonna go ahead and take it for you here. Hamza shouldn't have done that, mainly because they knew that he was there on the rotate, so they had them to look forward. Versus if all the players went out of B apartments, they would have all immediately rotated, and Hamza would have had the advantage catching them rotate.
Well, what I would have done was, I mean, you're close. Generally speaking, no, you do not take out that player. I would have continued to push through market. I would have flanked through market, and I would have gotten the first angle on the first player to be able to help out with the entry. He had a lot of time. There's 57 seconds whenever that happens. The knife is always fun to see. But if he would have pushed through window, he had such a great opening. He was just walking all the way through. He could have done something. And Glaze, he loves taking control over mid. It is just his side. He's got a good protection. He's got a Trinity Allure with the AWP behind him to be able to provide support. But, man... I know I have a big fault of lingering on rounds, but man, that could have been that one round that could have really helped him. Even though it was an eco round, that could have made a huge factor there.
Hybrid running out of bullets, leaving Purpur at 1 health, so that's going to allow them to get the bomb now. There's some extra money in their pockets going into the next round at the least. So Hazma finding one, not finding any bit more, and that is going to be 1 health and 1 bullet and a dream, turning into the nightmare. So that is round number 8 on the board. And Corey, this is already looking far worse than what we saw earlier today on the side for Tulsa. Sure, it was at a point of 8-3, if I remember correctly. So not too far off, but this is looking much more controlled, much more convincing. As you mentioned, Ob is the AWP player for Tulsa.
Let's hop to Hamza while you're talking here.
Say that again?
Hamza, the 10th player. I want to see what he's got. Why has he got the AWP? He did not have a spawn, so I wonder why he's got the AWP and Ob doesn't.
I guess it must be a feeling thing, but once again, we see
Glaze
super far forward, has the position. No one's checking for him.
Oh, he
nice
does get him
there.
Oh, and he peeks wide, and Glaze punishes him. Oh, man.
Another 2 picks found for Glaze, and he gets out completely untouched. Still has all of his utility. That's the biggest thing there. He just got two kills for the sake of 25 bullets, and I think you will absolutely take that. Now he's starting to use some of that utility, just keeping himself safe, slowing down the T side. And Glaze, oh my goodness, doing it all for his team here, able to find but Purpur not going down without a fight. Able to take Prospection here.
Man, he's got, currently Glaze has the hat trick.
Now he knows where Purpur's at. Doesn't necessarily have to shoot him down there. He's got 1, and he knows where the last guy is at, so he's going to call for the rotation. Psycho sees it. He's lowering his health. Glaive not able to get the ace, but it is a team ace. And
exactly.
Doesn't really matter at this point. You'll take a 9th round. It is 9-1. Tulsa, they really got to figure out a different strategy. I'd like to see a time, well, maybe not this round, maybe in a round where they can invest fully into, and it looks like they're going to do it anyways. I would have liked to see a timeout in a round like this, really talk strategy.
Yeah, it's okay to call a timeout whenever you're saving. It's okay. It allows you to have enough time to be able to talk a little bit more on what they want to do, and if anything, if they were still having a bout. So right now you can see it. They're back in spawn area. Let's go. Right now we can see that the bomb carrier they basically threw. I think they threw a smoke setup there. Yep, there it is. He just drops the bomb back for his teammates, and looks like Hamza is going to be lurking about inside of A-bomb site here shortly. And to Ginger, man, that's tough.
Yeah, I don't think they needed to poke for that information on mid. I think it's almost at this point to be assumed that Glaze is going to be there, but
Ham's over there. He is an X factor, and that's actually going to bait them over. Yep, you notice at the same time they're rotating right now because of how much of an X factor Hamza is. And Prospection's got a good angle here. Oh, he got tagged, and so they know exactly where he's at. And Purpur is he wants to challenge these.
getting tagged along was enough for Psycho to think to
Oh,
run over.
timing!
Oh, timing.
Told you, man. Counter-Strike.
Oh, man.
Counter-Strike timing is insane.
And now they're pushing the bomb out towards Sandwich, but he's got taken down, and that is the bomb out. And Glaze doing it all by himself this game. He's 16-4.
Goodness.
He still has. Oh no, he doesn't have the opportunity for the ace, but Purpur's got a long ways to run and not a lot of time to do it. So Psycho is just setting up towards the back of Market. Glaze is just setting up towards a ramp there, as you see. They know where the bomb's at, and at this point, I think Purpur's not even going to risk it. He can't even get there in time. He's just holding in ladder rooms, going to see if he can find anyone walking around.
Yeah, he knows for a fact he only has to watch at one angle. This is what I was talking about earlier when you're going to save a weapon. This is one of those scenarios where you've got only one choke point. You can feel pretty confident in your shot, and so he'll save this AK without being contested. But that's another round. Wow, 10-1. And Glaze right now, 16-4. But did you see Psycho as well? 16-3.
He's silently been going mad this game. I mean, we started off with him when he got that 4K on the pistol round. Ever since then, just steadily climbing up through the scoreboard. Hamza, the only one to really speak of on the side for Tulsa. I think he was 10-11. Obe not having the best game of his life with only one frag to his name, and Glaze just getting so aggressive in mid. You see it every time. He's 16-4, and as you said, Corey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We saw that earlier today with UConn, continuously doing the same strats until they can prove otherwise. So now we're seeing Purpur just holding the angle, maybe anticipating. Yeah, that's nice right there. I'd like to see what they're doing, trying to take the double peek, but Glaze not having any of it. He still wants more action. He loves the mid so much, he's going to just live there. Running back and forth. Purpur once again just holding that angle, but Psycho now
God, look how aggressive they are. Psycho and Glaze were causing so much pressure. They are basically sweeping their way and forcing them into the dustpan of A.
And yeah, let's top him with Psycho. He's about to see the full team over NC and T spawn. Yep. They're now running through A. He's a little bit too far behind, and here comes the execute. He could hear them Kybridge camp from under abs, and that is an instant headshot onto him. So that is 2 down. But Glaze is doing it all again. A 3K coming through,
bullet.
Keeping it easy.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Psycho finally making his way from the rotation, and look at that, Mop actually got the bomb down, so that's going to be a little bit of money going into round number 13. Whether it matters or not, we'll have to find out. Their money is still pretty shot. Actually, that's a good amount of change they've got in their pockets now because of it. And here's that last ball you're calling through, and bink!
Oh man, great round. 11-1. Wow.
Look at this scoreline: 18-3, 9-7, 5-5, 19-4, and 6-6.
When you're not needed, you're not needed. Psycho and Glaze. This is the right time to get hot. It's map number 3, and Trinity Lord with a great pick there from Connector. That again, you want as Obe. Oh man, I saw a scoreline.
Yeah,
I won't call it out.
It is looking rough. Trinity Lord just adding salt to the wound. That nice flick there on mid. Not Blaze this time taking control, and Obe just having a bad time, as you mentioned. So Glaze now getting a little bit aggressive. Finds one, not able to get it. It is Ginger able to take him out.
Hey. All right. Let's see if Ginger can continue to help them out, but man. Hamza's really been the only player that's even been a dent in the plan for Miami.
Looks like Kybrid almost flashed himself there. He's going to get a smoke up towards Palace now, trying to protect himself, watch less angles. And Mob's got a pretty forward position. And Sandwich, he's going to find one. He knows that there's another player, but doesn't know there's another player towards Ticket. So now that is the bomb down and Ginger in a 1v3 situation. He's got 45 seconds. He's got a good amount of time to figure this out. He knows that there's 2 on site at A. He's going to take it anyways. He's going to take it slow, maybe enough time for one to rotate out. I think they're going to hold their positions here. They'll set up a nice crossfire. As soon as they see him, they're going to collapse on him, and that is one opening. He's got to hit the shots, and oh, Psycho just playing out of his mind, winning a duel that is absolutely unwinnable and turning it into a 12th round. 12-1 in favor of Miami University of Ohio. Last time we saw this round, it was 10-5.
I think, okay, did he give that? Yeah. He does not want that up. You do not want that up. All right, so Glaze picks it up. Okay, all right, we'll see. 12-1 right now.
Hey, when you're feeling it, you're feeling it, Corey. Sometimes, as you mentioned earlier, it's all about the flow state. It's all about how you're feeling it out. Sometimes you have to go with the flow. The game plays
Shout out to
you.
Ron. Shout out to Rambo about the flow state.
Oh, he makes great content. I've been watching him stuff. I actually changed my whole mouse grip because I watched one of his videos. He's just really oh, the timing there.
Oh man. Yeah, shout out to Rambo. He's actually local to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. He's close by Esports Stadium.
As Glaze finds one in the Hamza, shutting down the X Factor, and now Prospection not able to find anything upside this map so far, but finds himself a 4K in the B apartments. Yeah, it was a pistol round, but he kept it cool, calm, collected, not wasting any time. Let's see a replay of that. Doink, there's one. Doink, there's 2, 3, and 4. The candy piece at the end. The party bomb being dropped. So this is rough, Corey. I would say this is, we saw this before on Train, but that is a much heavier biased map than this one. And I always see Psycho. He's trying to test. Oh my God, stop it, Psycho. Come on, he's got 3 already. We are only 15 seconds in the round, and that was a 3K. Hamza's able to close it down.
Glaze stole one of them. Glaze stole one of those kills.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah.
Of course he would, naturally. Naturally.
That meanie. Oh man, what a first half. And right now, it's tough because if you're on comms right now, there's 2 things that may be happening on Tulsa's comms. They're either dead quiet, and they have been dead quiet for a while, or they're erupting and tearing each other apart. And neither one of those are good scenarios. Because of what you see, the only reason why I'm making this assumption is because of watching Ginger peek out and jump out like he did. Jumping out with a knife and just kind of giving himself up. I know he could be baiting the op shot, but that was an open bait, and there was no trade that was ready to be available to them. But O picks up a second one.
Oh, but the bomb's about to run into Prospection here, and that is a clean pick right there. Once again, Prospection playing pretty calmly in these B apps, and he's got 30 seconds to work with. He's got to get running. He can no longer walk. He's going to meet Prospection in the apps again, so he's got to win this duel and then book it all the way to B.
This is it.
He has no time to. He's got no time. He has to go right now.
Already over.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep, it's already over. He has to do this. He has to run. He has to run with his knife out. He has to get the bomb planted. He still doesn't have time. There's too much indecisiveness that came into play. He's unable to get out of the apartments, and that's going to do it.
Well, he saved the AWP going into the next round.
Yeah,
so
I mean, to be able to use the op and the pistol.
Yeah, I guess we didn't consider that one. He's going to have an op going into the pistol round, but here we go. Psycho doing it all himself with an assist from Glaze at the beginning. Shutting them down from the get-go. Look at that stat line. 21, 22, 14. Prospection just now coming online towards the end of the B apps. 5 kills, 4 kills, 6, 3, and 12. Man, it looks like I'm on the Tulsa team right now. That is looking rough. And if they get the pistol round here, it's basically all C road. And Miami starting off the half, 14-1, going with a B hit. They're going to keep it quiet. We've got 1 smoke grenade on the side of Ginger, and we've got a Molly and 2 flashes on the side of Glaze. So maybe waiting for something here, trying to make some noise, and then immediately taking afterwards. So going in slowly. Mom going to be the first one to see him. He's flashed out. Now they are on the site. That's not going to be one. He had every advantage, and Hubs, you got to hit these shots, but it's going to be too much. The flash grenade's proving to be the extra edge that they needed in Prospection. Getting taken down by but that's going to feel good for him. That is his 3rd kill of this game. Ooh, that started off fast, and now they're starting to slow it down a little bit more. Starting to come online with his USP. He's found 2 so far. He doesn't find the 3rd just yet, but they know players towards bench. They're now swarming him. He's going to go down. Not just yet. He's still alive. What's taking him so? He got knifed. What happened there? This was a round that they should have had at least an opportunity. They couldn't land any shots, and he just got knifed.
Oh, man. That right there is a good sign and showing how this game has been about.
If they weren't quiet before, Corey, I can tell you it is dead silent.
No, it's probably erupted. They're probably very, 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 very upset right now.
15-1 is the scoreline as we head into the potential last round. We see Prospection with that MAC-10 pushing through. Trinity Lord already with an AWP getting taken down. Is Prospection with the CZ, but they are already pushing out to the A site. The Ginger finding another pick. He's dropping down under Palace. They know he's there. They're going to class on him shortly. He's done the damage that he needed to, but it is a 2v2. It is the Guns versus an MP7 and a Deagle. Hamza finding one. Oh, I think I might have messed up somewhere, but now we're in a 2v2 situation with an AWP and an AK versus an MP7 and a Deagle. Interesting position that Mop has found himself in. He's got to be dead silent or it's going to be for naught. Trinity Lord finding Hamza, the X factor so far, and Hamza.
Oh, man.
Or excuse me, Mop's got all to do it. He just made some noise,
Yep,
and now he's
it.
got to find the last one.
That's
He's got to swing, and that's the kill, and that is the closer. Trinity Lord, 14-6 to end out the map. Miami University of Ohio will advance into the playoffs behind two spectacular maps on Overpass, 16-2 and a 16-1 on Mirage. Corey, we had Tulsa taking that one.
You had Tulsa taking that.
We had Tulsa taking that
You
one.
had Tulsa
we
taking
had
that
Tulsa taking
Nope,
that one.
I've got the note right here. If anybody wants to see it, you can zoom in on it.
Photoshop. It's fake.
So right there. And now I did have a closer score line, but I had Miami taking that one. Wow. Oh, man. Good games coming out there for Miami, coming all the way back. They lost the very first matchup, or first map of this series, and then they come all the way back and just come full force. 16-2, 16-1, and that's how you sign off. That is impressive.
Yeah, I don't really have much more words than that. The stat line across the board was very heavy on the side of Glaze and Psycho, so I'd love to hear some words for them. Psycho having a great performance on both maps. We saw that the ace that we saw to end out Overpass. Absolutely insane from him. I think it was a 1v4. One player unknowingly know he was there, just doing everything he needed to take it for their team here. And as mentioned, Corey, we see UConn moving on through the upper side, and now we see Miami going through the lower side. And then, you know, if we're backtracking to the beginning of the day, I actually had this as my predictions. I said that UConn would take it on the upper side, and then I said Miami University of Ohio, specifically because they had the O in their name, and as an O, I've got to support another O, and that's exactly what happened here. Sure, it took us a little bit longer to get there, but we still made it. Yep,
it's been a long and good day thus far. You're seeing them being able to win that. Again, I'm happy to know that a lot of the players that were on the Tulsa side, even after going through the severe thunderstorm, which then turned into a tornado warning, we waited for that. Those of you that stuck with us throughout that, I appreciate it. But again, those are long days. Those are long games. We were watching it before where Miami had played against Oklahoma State. That was 2 games right there. And then there was an hour-and-a-half break just for us to get to our next map set versus Tulsa. And then we had an additional delay on top of that, which pushed us another hour away. And then we had some Counter-Strike that lasted a nice little three hours or so in the end. But, man, some good games. And watching there the 16-2, 16-1 scoreline, they had the right pep talk. Whoever gave that coach's speech after map 1, you asked the question to me, like, what do you do? How do you handle that? You know, the reality is that's where you take full composure. You rely on logic. And they probably had a good pep talk saying, this is our map. And as you said as well, we chose that map. This is what we're better at, and we can do something better here. We were close in that game, and they didn't let that get to them because they were down 12, or they did have a 12-3 lead on Train that they gave up and lost 16-14. But you talk about the positives, not the negatives, and that's where they were able to come back and win 16-2 and 16-1.
Exactly. As we mentioned, that was a huge comeback and a great showing from Tulsa, but I think a 16-2 and a 16-1, that's a statement. Sure, there was a huge comeback that happened, but that is absolutely a biggest statement that you could have made. And moving on into the further brackets, I think that if you're an Oklahoma team having to go up against the Miami University of Ohio, I think you might be a little scared as they took out 2 Oklahoma teams, 16-5 and 16-8, previously against Oklahoma State, and now 16-2 to 16-1. They've looked very sharp towards the end here, and I think I'm really excited to see how they keep performing throughout this tournament. As we've always said that we're going to keep building these storylines as we keep going. We've seen that Psycho definitely came online. Glaze, I think he has that aggressive style, but he really loves playing that aggressive style. We always saw him poking at like B on Train. We saw him getting a little bit too far forward sometimes, getting taken advantage of. But when he comes online, absolutely just taking over the server, absolutely doing everything he needs to not even use utility, and sometimes we saw him going down mid. He would walk out of that and only have 25 bullets lost to his name. He used to have all the utility. He'd run back, throw down a molly, and then it was just the game would start then at 5v3.
So we had some really good games. Let's go ahead and hear from Psycho himself after having a hellacious game number 3. So Psycho, first of all, congratulations on winning the very first that we're winning and getting into the playoffs. So those are some really good games. But I want to take you back so we can end on the positive. You were up 12-3 on Train. What kind of went through your guys' heads throughout that whole second half before we talk about the positives that happened in Map 2 and Map 3?
I just first want to say thank you for the compliment. I guess on Train, we knew that we have to focus really hard on our T side, and when it started dwindling, we always had the morale, but it was really frustrating to know that we went all the way down and ended up losing that match. But we knew because we were up 12-3 that we have the potential to literally wipe these guys.
Yep.
So the team, we just mental reset, and we were able to come back and do a really good map 2, and then we kind of just carried that momentum into map 3.
Yeah, so I loved. Overpass was your map choice. What did you think about that and how that kind of played out during that whole map setup?
Well, Overpass is definitely one of our strongest maps, if not the strongest. When we were in regular season Nax, we were competing against the top 10 Nax teams, almost beat Sea Ravens on it. It was definitely one of our best maps. So we're always confident playing anybody on it. So starting off strong CT side is always nice. And it just felt like everything was working for us. Our pushes were working great. Our rotations were perfect. Trades, everything was clicking finally.
No, it's great to say. I mean, one of the things that I saw from you is just traditionally you're probably one of the primary operators that are on the team outside, or secondary operators on the team, second team.
Yeah, I would say I'm definitely the main secondary operator.
Yep. So
sometimes we have spawn based pick it up,
right,
depending on someone's we have the good spawn for Mirage Ramp or something like that. But usually I am the secondary operator, I would say.
Yep. So it was good to see you come out though and playing with the AK, just working with the rifles there at the end, because. You had some really mission-critical rounds. I mean, at one point, it felt like you guys were just filling it there in that third map.
Yeah, I think at one point, definitely me and Brandon were just at the point where we could just, we don't know what happened. We could just kind of just feel like everything that we were shooting was just hitting their head, and it just felt really nice to play at that level.
John, you have a comment?
Well, certainly we saw a lot of clicking heads, and that was a very impressive 5-man. Well, of course, a 5-man and ace is a thing, but at the end of Overpass, so we saw you get that impressive ace. How much was the adrenaline flowing in that moment? Because then you went immediately into Mirage, and you almost found another one.
Yeah, for the first ace, I just had to kind of keep my calm, knowing they're about to rush me, and my teammate was there. And then once I started getting a couple kills, I had the adrenaline rush. And then it was so strange when I was getting all the kills, they just weren't even looking at me barrels, and that kind of threw me off for a second. But I was really happy I was able to get the next 2. And I mean, we were just going insane after that. And then on Mirage, we knew that the last time they did Fast B, so I had a spawn, and I'm just gonna jump into Balk guys, and it ended up working out perfectly to counter them.
And that exactly it did. Like I said, you almost got another pistol ace in that first round. So thank you very much, Psycho, for helping me lose my voice throughout this tournament. We've got 2 weeks ahead of us, and I have lost my voice starting tomorrow, I think, because of that. And the one last thing I want to ask you, Psycho, you had a great performance throughout this entire series, and congratulations for moving on into the playoffs. But the last thing I want to ask you is, what did you eat for breakfast? Because I don't have performances like you do, and I think that's the first start that I need to make to my adjustments.
I made myself a bacon, egg, and cheese bagel, It tasted pretty good.
That's where I
Hey.
went wrong. I
Yeah.
had a bacon egg burrito.
Yep,
I needed a
that's the
bagel
fault.
form, not in
Yeah.
a tortilla. I had the cheese, but I put it in a tortilla, not a bagel. That's the strategy.
But thank you very much for having me on, guys. You did a great job casting when we had the chance to come in and see it.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate it, Psycho. I've got one last question for you before you head out. What is going into the playoffs? You've got 6 days to kind of relax for a little bit. What are you going to be doing over the next 6 days? And then finally, what is the team? What team do you really want to face? Whether it's for what you feel from a competition standpoint, or whether you want to really kind of challenge yourself against.
Yeah, I would really love to go up against UCF. We played them in regular season, and we had an unfortunate match against them. But we have to, at some point, prove that we can contend with these teams. So I think UCF will be making it out, and we definitely want to be able to show everybody that what we're capable of. And definitely these next few days, we're all busy with school because we haven't finished yet.
Yep.
But we'll be working on school scrims and playing a little extra here and there. And I wouldn't lie to you if I wouldn't be playing a little bit of Valorant when the rank comes out.
Of course.
But definitely have to keep the mind for now on the playoffs and beating UCF. I'm assuming if they make it in.
Awesome. Well, Psycho, thank you very much for hopping in here with us. Congratulations again and making it into the playoffs. And I appreciate you spending the time, you and your team spending the time with us as well throughout this tournament, because I know how difficult it is to be able to balance the schedules between the two. And again, thank you for that. And also thank you for waiting with the rest of the team, as Tulsa was currently going through a tornado warning, and we waited it out with them. That is a full collective effort. Thank you for the camaraderie across the board. And again, lastly, congratulations in making it into the playoffs. John, that was our final match of the entire Group B. Any final thoughts from that matchup or from the entire day?
Well, that was an exciting day to say the least. We had today was the first day we had the full lineup of teams. So yesterday we saw only 3 teams, which means we had 2 less matches, but we went the distance today, and we sure did. We saw the first time in a best of 3 where we got to our 3rd map. Sure, it was not quite as close as we thought it'd be, a 16-2, 16-1, but it was still absolutely entertaining nonetheless. We're seeing some pop-offs from Psycho and Glaze, absolutely controlling on Mirage. Yukon, not much to say about their 16-0, 16-8. They're looking great. I think they look exactly what we expected them.
UConn's a good-looking team.
Yeah.
And so those are some of the teams that we're going to be looking out for. I mean, you heard it. That's why we asked the question. You've got one team that that Miami's looking out for is UCF. You saw RMU on day 1. We just saw UConn as well push forward. So, we got some really, really good teams that have made their way in, and that team collection is made up of Robert Morris University as well as St. Clair College from day 1 in Group A, and then now we've got 2 more teams that have joined the ranks that have made it into the playoffs, and that's UConn as well as Miami University from Ohio. What a great day. Thank you all for tuning in. Thanks for joining us throughout the entire time. We'll kind of take a quick look at the upper bracket and see how we're shaping up right now. So as you take a look at the top of the board, all first place seeds will work their way from top down. So one of the things I shared before, this has already been completely laid out. We'll know exactly who is playing against who going into the upper bracket, or into the brackets as well. And you can see the lower half where St. Clair and Miami University of Ohio are filling that out there. So that's your current bracket. Tomorrow, we've got more action. That's going to be Group C. VCU has got their initial bye. We will see our very first match of the day will be Georgia Tech. They'll be facing off against Pitt, and we'll see how well that one kicks off the day. And this is going to be another short day as well, but we'll be starting at 1 p.m., and then we'll also take a look into the following matchups as well. I think there's one thing that we did adjust on our side. The final match of the day will be at 3 p.m., and so we'll take a look at that. We did confirm with the teams. We actually work very diligently with all the teams on their schedule. So I'm looking forward to seeing those matchups. Thanks for tuning in here for the U.S. Army Presents Reload Collegiate CSGO Invitational. It's been fun. We've enjoyed every step of the way. We still have 6 more days just of group play. So we still have so much more action to be able to follow, and then we'll get into the playoffs, which will be even more fun for us both. So thanks for sticking around with us. We'll see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central right here at Esports Stadium Arlington. From Jono and myself, Corey Dunn, we'll see you on the other side.